Jay, you chow. Jay, you chow.
Look, man, there's certain things that I would read, but I promise you, man, at this point in my life, I just process information and data, and I do my own analysis based on experiences and so on and so forth. And I can pick the truth.
It's called qualitative and quantitative.
Boom.
Once you get those two, man, you form your own,
Yeah, you see?
your own truth, your own,
You know what I mean? Like, these the people to be reading books. Yo, there was a dude named Dr. Ben. He wrote a lot of books, black, Afrocentric. He claimed he was a part Ethiopian Jew and all that. Yo, man, he wrote some good stuff. I read it.
Yeah.
Turns out he wasn't any of the things he said he was. Yo. And it doesn't mean that the books was full of lies. But he was a fraud, though. And so anytime you reference him, even when he gave you the truth, he sabotaged it because he was a fraud, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people would pull that out, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, I thought he was the man, man. Look, his books were so deep. Because, you know, at my age, man, you go through all these different phases, man, and you start searching and looking. And Dr. Ben, man, he died. He was destitute when he died, man.
Well, and we'll talk about this on camera. That's my take on Dr. Sebi.
Oh, bro, come on,
yeah, that's my take on Sebi.
Yo, look, Sebi, you know, I went to Sebi's spot in L.A. Nobody was there. You try to order stuff from him, it's overpriced. But you know, we got this thing, right? I call it a fixation with messianic figures. Like, and only thing messianic about them is that they died.
That's it.
They died tragically. So as soon as they die, they get put on a pedestal. They somebody important. They didn't do nothing.
Nah.
But they got killed, which is tragic. But you can't base your heroes on the fact that they just got a propensity to find trauma and misfortune. And that's what we do. As soon as they die, man, they become a main figure in our community. And I think it's the whole Jesus thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we tied into that.
A savior. We long for a savior.
And not only that, we don't want nobody to say nothing bad about us when we die. So we make up all these things about this person. You know, George Wallace, he said some funny shit one time, right? He said...
Y'all getting it right?
George Wallace, I seen him do a stand-up, and he said his brother-in-law died, and if he was to tell the truth, and he said they wanted to remember him as he was. He said they wanted to remember him as he was. They had to put his ass in handcuffs in the coffin. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we go out our way to say good things about bad people sometimes, you know?
I started noticing that. Going to criminals. I wouldn't say criminals, but street guys funerals. I noticed every street guy, and these are some of my friends and people that I personally know. They were killers and they were robbers, and some of them died in dope houses. And I noticed when they preached the funeral, everybody go to heaven.
Yeah.
But I don't care how bad a person is. When they land in that casket at the church house, nobody says he was a no good rotten motherfucker. Nobody says that.
Yeah, but they ain't gotta say that, but they ain't gotta make up that other shit though. You know what I mean? Look.
Well, if this nigga owe me some money, somebody gotta stand up and say, this nigga owe me some. He just borrowed the money. And he ain't been. So somebody got to tell the truth, because it's my sincere belief that dash in between your birthday and the time you die, that's the tell all.
You want me to tell you something, Charleston, man? Listen, right? So it wasn't until I made headlines that I really understood the importance of my reputation at large. Because I had a reputation in a certain circle, and I was comfortable with that reputation. But when that reputation went mainstream, I was uncomfortable with it. Yeah. The things that people are proud of nowadays are not really things that I would ever be proud of. But you know what that did? It spurred me to do everything I could to try to erase what people knew about me, thought they knew about me, everything. My legacy means a lot to me, which is why I get myself involved in so many positive things. You know, you get accused of murder, right? And you meet a woman, a decent one. So I like decent women, man. I don't even date women with tattoos or none of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got nothing against women with tattoos. Do your thing, baby. You know what I mean? I'm an old guy, right? But anyway, those kind of women, they'll do a check. The minute that it comes up that you was a suspect in murder or something, if that's just boom, and not just any murder.
Well, and I don't mean to cut you off. That's how deadly an arrest record can be.
Oh, man.
Because even with an arrest record, you can be arrested for something. You can be completely innocent, go to trial, be found not guilty, and be cleared of all wrongdoings. But when somebody type it in, they see you was arrested for it.
Yeah.
And there go the character assassination.
Thank God I never been arrested for a sex crime, because that got to be one of the worst things.
Yeah.
Even if you're acquitted. You know what I mean?
You still
pop up.
Oh, man. Because I went to trial. I was convicted. I was convicted of a felonious assault. I went to trial on 6B felonies in 1986. I was 21. My charges were attempt murder, kidnapping, robbery 1, 2, and 3, and felonious assault. I was acquitted of the most serious charges, but the felonious assault, I couldn't get around that because there was hospital records to substantiate the assault, the alleged assault.
Yeah.
And the individual who brought forth the charges, he was a confidential informant, and I didn't know that at the time, but he was actually trying to set us up. But anyway, to make a long story short, I appealed that conviction and I had it overturned. Today I am conviction free. But here's the thing though, I was facing 8 1/3 to 25 at 21. And the jury was deliberating because the individual, the witness, the CI, he was a sexual deviant. He was feeling up women on the subway and all this came out while he was on the stand. Because when you take the stand, they get to dig in your business, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, the people didn't believe nothing he said, but they couldn't dispute the fact that his head got busted.
The record,
open.
They couldn't dispute the hospital record.
That's right, yeah. So I got convicted based on that. So while the jury was deliberating, they offered me 5 years probation. Charleston. I don't know why I didn't take it, but it was a pivotal decision in my life, because had I taken that 5 years probation, I would have had a felony conviction.
This in the 80s.
This is in the 80s. This is 1986.
Yeah.
Yo, had I taken it, I would have had a felony conviction. And in 2010, I started a mental health business, providing services for people in D.C. Medicaid approved, had to do my background check and all that. That decision that I made in 86
would affect you 20 years down the road.
It would have stopped me from being able to go into business in 2010. And I didn't have the foresight. So to me, I just feel like that was God with me at that moment. You know, I was a little brazen too, because I told the lawyer, look, I ain't pay you all this money to get a conviction. You know, I had to pay a lawyer. And I was wild. I was 21 in the 80s in New York.
Now what part of, let's take us back to the 80s. What part of New York you were born in? By the way, y'all, this is my man Curtis from Scoon TV. I know for those that don't know, man, this is my guy Curtis, man. Just a new episode, game related. We've been talking from the time we walked in from the door all the way back. We really done started the show and didn't even know we started the show. So let us officially start the show, man. What's up? This your boy Charleston White. Another episode of the Game Related Podcast. What's up with it, dude?
See, y'all know what time it is. That boy dude, man. We finna drop some more game, man.
We got for the young people. So I hope all the young people tuned in, man. My Say Cheese TV crowd. I say this gonna be a historic night for us. Who we got on the platform tonight? The jewels, the message, the experiences. and the knowledge that he go share and drop. But the life experiences is really what we want people to take from. That's how my mama told me, experience is not the best teacher. It's the hardest. You know, if you have to learn from experience, that's the hardest teacher. So I can tell you what I went through so you don't have to go through it. You just take my word for it, man, and then that way you don't have to go through it. Those are the smartest lessons. So with that being said, man, you want to introduce yourself to the crowd, tell the people who you are, where you're from, and what it is.
I'm Curtis Schoon. Once upon a time, they used to call me the Snake Charmer. Not everybody, certain people. I don't carry that name no more. You know?
Hold on, man, listen. God damn. Listen, say y'all listen. There's a whole bunch of niggas named Shoot 'em Up Bobby. There's a whole lot of niggas named Knock 'em Out Ray Ray. Yes, a whole lot of niggas named Gorilla FBK Bobby something. This nigga say his name was the Snake Charmer.
Yeah, it was
Think deep now, y'all. That's what I'm saying. He talking cold. Snake Charmer. Mr. Nigga charm the snakes.
I never gave myself that name, you know.
Somebody else gave it to you.
Other people gave it to me.
That's even more dangerous.
You know, they started referring to me because I had a way of dealing with certain types of individuals, you know.
The bullies.
Yeah.
The gorillas.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
The serpents that walk upright, as they say. You
And-
know
and-
what
and-
I
and-
mean?
and-
Yeah, that way.
And they go around
That
sheep.
way.
Yeah,
They
but,
love to go around sheep.
You know, it's about understanding people. So anyway, that's what I was known as. I've been low key my whole life.
So let me ask you this. But before we get to how you got the name Snake Charmer, what part of New York you got to be born in to develop this kind of tenacity?
To me, New York is like, at least my New York. This new New York, I'm not gonna put it down, but it's not the same New York that I grew up in. You know, when I grew up, you know, men were men and diamonds were a girl's best friend. You know, all these like flashy dudes, and if you want to be flashy and dripping and whatever, I mean that's your thing, but you had to have a certain fortitude to even flex back then. And I don't think that exists today. You know what I mean?
Can I stop you right there?
That's good game.
Say, this
Real
for
talk.
my slow learners. Now I got to bag him up. He said, when men were men. Now I've heard that before. I've heard when men were men, but I never heard when diamonds was girls.
Best friend. Yeah.
Men didn't wear diamonds.
Not like they do now. You know, the big diamonds and
Diamond hair, diamond.
That way. Yeah.
You know, we had
I'm going back to gold. I'm going back to gold and brief draws. I'm going back to gold, straight gold and brief draws.
Look, you know, men did have some diamonds, but nowadays, man, they just, you know, they flooded.
Too many diamonds. Yeah, diamonds on my check, diamonds on.
Look, and for the brothers that got it, man, I ain't hating on you, man. Do your
Cause
thing,
I got
man.
a bad ass diamond chain. Cause
You know,
I got a bad motherfucker coming, man.
Look, Don King had a bad diamond chain, and he one of the original G's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like when I was running around New York, you got to understand New York in the '80s at the time, and this is no boast or nothing. I don't boast on nothing negative. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm here to talk about my transformation. But in order to understand and appreciate the transformation, you got to know where I come from.
Gotta understand where you come from.
And I'm glad he said that.
Facts.
That's the whole concept of the game-related podcast. We don't glorify nothing. It's to get an individual in front of these cameras and capture their backstory to understand where they came from, so we can show you. And for the most part, man, it'd be great stories of redemption of men and women who come from a certain element of society and overcame the obstacles and barriers, wrong choices, failures, bad decisions, pain, hurt, and then they evolve into, you know, pro-social and productive individuals today. So that's the whole concept of the game-related podcast. With that being said, my mama told me, son, everything in this life you overcome by the power of your testimony. The things that you've already overcame, that's your power. And that's how you continue to overcome. So I'm glad you hit that on the note. We're not glorifying anything.
Never glorifying.
Just go get
Never.
deep. Just go get real. Just go get real deep. We just want, this is not no glorification of anything. This is this man is fit to bear his soul, his mind, his will, and its emotions in hopes that others can learn from it and take from it and create some alternatives and resources to whatever conditions that they're in now. So with that being said, New York in the 80s was hard.
Yeah, you know what? Most urban places was tough, but I could speak on New York on a first-hand basis.
Impoverished?
Um,
Extreme impoverished? How
it
was
was
the
the crack.
conditions?
The crack changed things.
Okay.
The crack made it very violent. Prior to the crack, we had the street gangs. And by the way, for us, street gangs were for kids. They was for like high school students. You know, because when you're a kid, you prove how tough you are. We didn't have men in street gangs. You know, 18, 19 tops.
Take notes.
18, 19 tops were in street gangs. And when you become a man, you graduate to becoming a gangster if you want to continue on in that life. And the difference is, right, gangsters are money motivated, and gangsterism is imposing your will through the use or threat of violence. That's all gangsterism is. The use or threat of violence. It's not about your jewelry. It's not about your designer.
Money.
It's not. It's about none of that.
It's about
That
your
way.
vibe.
You
That
know,
way.
and you can't be a gangster in rap if you got people like Leo Cohen and Jimmy Iovine pimping you out. No matter how big your entourage is, how many fights y'all have in the VIP, these white boys is just pimping y'all out. Elliot Grange and his father, Lucien Grange, with 6ix9ine and all of this. So when I see these dudes, they're not gangsters in the way that I understand.
In the real world of gangsterism.
Man, he just broke down gangster to the core. Wait, man, hey, man.
So for the most part, gangsters are ghosts. They're invisible faces.
Yeah, that you know they not seen, but they're felt. You understand what I'm saying?
And they're known, but they're not seen.
Yo, listen, man, they're known within the circles. They need to be known. You know, there used to be a time.
Facts, homie.
There used to be a time where a man would be a gangster and his neighbors would just think he's a businessman, an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Nobody promoted that. You know what I mean? But hip-hop, man, I hate to say it, hip-hop kind of brought it out in the open where it was fashionable to claim these things. It's cosplaying.
Hip-hop originates out of New York.
It did. But
And we got the paid in full era where all I know is rappers mimic the street niggas. That's all I know.
But look, we going to get into it. Now you're going to get me started, right? Yeah, here we go. The New York I came up in was violent. By 1991, the last year, David Dinkins, mayor, there was 2,248 homicides. But it had been inching up to that ever since 95. It was like 1,800, 1,900. Like 7 years in a row, we was around 2,000 or more murders per year. When you think about it, right, that's about 5 to 6 murders every single day of a year. I personally know about 30 people who were murdered from back then. So when you come out of that element, we're not talking about shooting people in the studio. We're not doing a drive-by in the sound booth. Like, it was just going down like that. You understand what I'm saying? And not just in New York, by the way. In Baltimore, in D.C., it was Philly,
Jersey.
All over. You understand what I'm saying? That the 80s was a different type of time. When that crack hit the streets, the lawlessness came. You know what I mean? And also there was an introduction into the game, the drug game, with kids, because prior to that,
kids wasn't in the streets at
that's
all.
right.
Yeah.
It was men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Grown men. So when you got kids, you got to understand that neurologists have said that the human brain isn't even fully developed until 25. So when you're giving all these kids 19, 18, 17 guns and drugs, they're not using the best knowledge. And there goes the mayhem. You know, there's another saying that the only thing worse than organized crime is disorganized crime. So you had a lot of disorganized crime with the the incursion of children and adolescents into that world.
Men showing women the game, bringing them in the game, and now the woman selling dope like the man.
It was just a free fall. It really decimated our communities. You know what I mean? And when I went down to D.C. in the 80s, like back to my trial, I appealed the conviction, pending appeal. I went to Hampton. I was a 22-year-old freshman. Going into trial, I had planned that if I lost.
You're in college.
22-year-old freshman, because I had made up my mind to go to trial, and I had to give my lawyer something to work with in case I
did
lost.
that before. Yeah.
In case I was thinking ahead. I wasn't thinking about an
I've done
education.
that before. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, but when I went to college, I met people from D.C. and Baltimore, and I went back to the streets and was doing what I was doing in their cities and towns. And what I learned is that, man, the crack that would sell for $5 in New York sold for $50 in D.C. Why is that? Because the more affluent your clientele, the more money you stand to make. And D.C., just like Detroit, they had thriving black economies due to the federal government, and in Detroit due to the auto industry. And the drugs decimated all that black progress.
So what do you mean by that is, the federal government hires a lot of black people.
To this day.
To this day.
To this day.
Probably, I mean, if you go looking more, they hire a lot of black people. Detroit had the auto industry. Man.
Correct.
Man, they had GM, Ford,
Chrysler.
all
of them.
all that.
Yeah.
Man, it was vibrant.
So black people had money.
That built that black faction of America helped establish America's middle class.
Yeah, man, some of the most affluent black people I ever encountered came out of the Detroit area, the D.C. area, and the Atlanta area. You know, they had some other things going on in the South. They didn't have those big employers like the government, but black people did well in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Not this new Hollywood Atlanta, you know what I mean? But because you know some of the most prominent black mayors came from Atlanta, D.C., and Detroit. Maynard Jackson, Marion Barry, and Coleman Young.
Yeah.
The senior, the first. You know what I mean?
Atlanta produced some of America's top black real estate moguls.
Man, there's a cat down there now named Egbert Perry that I'm trying to get with that. You know, listen.
That's what we see now. Today's Atlanta is standing on the backs of those Atlanteans who did everything right to get us where we are today, where we fucking everything up.
Yeah, man. The drugs, man. The drugs was the first wave. Well, actually, heroin was the number one in the 70s.
That's where I was finna take you back to.
Yeah. So heroin was number one.
I was gonna ask you the violence between the heroin epidemic. My grandmother and them is the heroin epidemic. My grandmother's in her 80s. That's the heroin epidemic. The jazz crew. Those were the rappers back then. Heroin was big amongst the jazz musicians.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between the violence that the heroin, or did the heroin produce the same kind of violence that the crack did?
You know, not that I'm an expert on any of this, right?
Yeah.
But
we done read a lot of books. We done a lot of research
watched
and
a lot of
studied.
movies.
Yeah.
Right. You understand? But some of the coldest killers were heroin addicts.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the coldest killers were heroin addicts.
Mm-hmm.
But the crack, though, it was because cocaine is associated with sex and partying.
Euphoric.
Yeah,
Euphoria.
You know,
Hey,
so
the killer with the
became
fucking.
more popular.
Yeah, the killers with the fucking, man. Killing, nigga, put the gun down. Come on,
Yeah.
let's fuck these hoes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it was, even though the heroin did play a role somewhat, but not to the same extent as coke. Coke is just a good time drug. And before you know it, you just got to have it. You know, and smoking crack, they used to call it freebasing because they used the Bacardi 151. And then
freebasing was a New York thing. Even though it was down here, that was rich people shit.
Yes,
That was
Richard
rich.
Pryor
Set some fire, yeah.
But crack, they made it accessible for everybody.
Yeah, well, crack made the agriculture states be able to get it.
Yo, it made
See,
it cheap.
But you know what? You said something earlier, though.
Yeah.
When you said that back then,
Yeah,
you had gangsters that performed a certain type of way, right?
yeah.
You let the street gangs, the high school gangs, when you
They
elevated,
took over the crack era.
yeah. So when you elevated to this level of a gangsterism, now you moving different. But guess what? Here come the crack game. The crack game was a fast game. So when it started becoming a fast game, you got the kids that's involved. Cause back in the game, in the heroin addict, Kids weren't involved with that.
They wasn't involved.
They weren't involved. So now here come the crack era. They involved with that. Now here come the organized crime. That when we speak about organized crime down here, it's different than what y'all speak about it down
Gotcha.
there.
Yeah, it ain't mafia
It's
based
totally
down
different.
Here. They getting a nigga down here off childhood friends.
See what I'm saying?
Nigga went to
See,
school together, y'all in the club taking
You
pictures
know-
together, and they hitting them with the RICO conspiracy.
You know,
Taking advantage of the poor black people with that
correct,
shit, man.
correct. Because they're not really organized like that.
No.
It's not.
To warrant all of that.
It's not.
Yeah, they're not.
Nah.
You know, and it's funny you said that because organized crime means exactly that in New York, man. New York is a very cosmopolitan city. And what I mean by that is it is diverse. You got Albanians, Greeks, Chinese in Chinatown, the
Russian.
Triads, the Tongs, the Russians, absolutely. In Brooklyn. And you know, you got so many different ethnic groups and they all have their own different organized crime sections and what they do. And one of the advantages to me of coming up in New York is my exposure to all these different people.
It gives
interacting with them.
It gives you world geography.
Then you learn to do things differently too. And when
Facts.
you are able to go across different lines and deal with different kinds of people, it expands what you could bring back to your own people. You know what I mean? When you make those kind of
Well, it's like the man coming from this village, being able to go over here to this village, meeting the chiefs of this village,
Boom.
exchanging resources,
Boom.
coming back over here. Now y'all might not even like each other,
Yeah.
but it's the border system, the
Yo.
exchange of resources. Can you scratch my back? I'll scratch yours.
because
And we gonna leave it like that.
you opening up a new market for them, and now you have a new plug for yourself.
Exactly.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean? Like,
Exactly.
Yeah. And nowadays, everybody just talking about the Migo Mexicans and the essays and all that, but it used to be so many more opportunities in that regard if you were looking for those things. You know?
Facts.
When I think about the Bumpy Johnson story, you know Lawrence Fishburne played Bumpy Johnson in the movie Hoodlums. You think about his interaction with the mafia. They give us the movie American Gangster. You think about Frank Lucas, his interaction with the mafia. For us down south, that's big screen movie shit.
Big screen.
Nigga won't
movies.
never get to meet our Italian mafia. You know what I mean? That's big. Until these niggas go to the feds and run into the Gotti boys and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But other than that, boy, we country boy, we looking at that shit, that Hollywood shit.
Yeah.
But when you go to New York, I've never in my life seen a Popeye's chicken rolled in Chinese. You can't understand what it's saying. You just know that's Popeye's chicken. I've never seen banks with different, so I seen different national flags flying, and it was almost confusing. It was like being in the world of countries, not a hood.
Boom.
I couldn't culturally, I couldn't walk in New York as a Southern black man because this was like going in different countries.
Yeah, you go Washington Heights, Dykeman, you might as well talk Spanish because it's all Dominicans up there. You know what I mean? You go to Crown Heights, it's all West Indians. Yo, you just gonna be hearing different accents, different twangs all over the place.
It was driving me
When you
crazy.
see
It
people-
was blowing my mind.
When you see people in New York that look black,
Yeah.
you go to their house with them and you hear their parents and you be like, oh shit, where you from, man? You
That
know
way.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my friends was like Jamaicans, Guyanese, all of that. You know what I mean? Like I would say maybe about easily 40 to 55% of people in New York come from the South.
So,
But if another 40% come from somewhere else, that's a lot, man. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
so
Facts.
what's the dynamic of the public school system? It got to be fucked up with all them different, man, come on, man.
But you know, man, and that's another thing, Charleston. You know, we going to circle back
And I ain't
on
putting New
everything.
York down. I ain't putting it down. I'm just saying.
Listen, man. I went to Brooklyn Tech. I went to Catholic school first, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went to Catholic school because my parents, being foreigners, they emphasize education. So I went to Catholic school, and I've always done well in school. I did well in school without even trying, without studying. You understand? Yeah.
All the way up to the college level without studying.
Yo, that's right. And you know what? I can see that in you. because I see how your brain functions, and I recognize that. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, Brooklyn Tech was one of the crown jewels of the New York City public school. You had to take a test, right? I went to that school. I studied chemistry, biology, physics, calculus, trigonometry. Oh man, listen, foundry, architecture. I did all of that shit in high school. You understand what I'm saying? But in that school that I went to, about 30% of those kids were Chinese. Yeah.
In the 80s?
In the 80s, bro. I graduated in 82.
30%?
At least 30.
Well, that's when they had the exchange, I think.
Yo, at least 30% of the students in that one school, because it's a specialized school.
Okay.
You got to understand something about foreigners, man. You see, I think a lot of times Black Americans, and I identify as a Black American.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about no other country. This is it for me, right? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Let me be clear on that. Yo, let me be clear on that.
I don't know shit about nothing, but this is.
But foreigners, man, they emphasize education. And what's going on in the Black community is there are no political solutions for cultural deficiencies. There just aren't. You know, you can vote for whoever you want. You can work the political system, but it has to happen in the house.
Facts.
Facts. Foreigners push their kids to do well. So somebody might be saying, they watch and be like, shit, your parents was pushing you to do well. Look at all the shit you got into. You know what I mean? But again, to be successful in anything, right or wrong, requires a degree of intellect. You understand? What nobody tells you is that prison is filled with a lot of non-critical thinkers. Not all, but most of them.
Right.
Most of them couldn't think their way out of a wet bed. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Listen, man, I was in a holding cell in 1995 in New York. I was driving my brother's truck. I don't know why I was doing that. Because he done had the VIN numbers changed and all this, you know. Yeah. The whole car was just bogus. Yeah. I'm thinking,
he got a slammer.
So I'm in the holding cell, and I'm sitting there. And 95, and this was key for me too, because that's when I started feeling like, yo, I can't do this no more. And you got to be honest with yourself too. A lot of us ain't honest with ourselves. Me in the 80s, I might have been locked up thinking about what I'm going to do when I get on the street. I even told a lawyer one time, look, man, if you take this money and if you take the money from my people for your pay, ain't going to be no more where that come from. You give me on the street and the street's going to pay you. The lawyer may bail me out. That's how I was in the 80s. Yeah. In the 90s, I'm sitting in that cell and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this shit no more. And you know what the stark thing to me was? It might have been about 18, 19 people in the bullpen. They call it the bullpen. And I might call it that here too. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But they were debating who had more money.
Everywhere you go?
Puff Daddy or Master P.
Oh, God damn.
And listen.
Oh, God
I've been to jail and seen that nigga doing it. Man, I've been to jail waiting to get out. Seeing that nigga talking about who got more money.
Look. Man, trust me, man. I've been in all kinds of situations, and nothing scared me more than thinking that, yo, I can't spend a long time around these fucking idiots, yo. Yo, I was like, yo,
thanks,
what I talk to these people about? That's when you start realizing that you're growing, you know, you evolving. Because when you're young, you got a lot of testosterone, and you're looking at the physical challenges. To me, the streets was always... I was never motivated by money, by the way. I was motivated by the challenge. But by the time 95 rolled around, I was like 31 years old, and the challenge was like, I already met the challenge. I don't need to do this no more. And beating these people don't mean nothing, because they were born to be beat, a lot of them, man. You understand? I hate to put it like that, but they was born to be beat. They was sitting in the cell arguing who had more money. Master P or Puff Daddy. Well,
let me
not talking about their case. Not talking about, yo, how they gonna get.
Listen.
Oblivious to the reality.
Let me take you even deeper than that. Once they get through arguing about Master P and a partner, they start bringing up the niggas in the streets, and that's when the people press the record button.
Yo,
Say, man, such and such got this. Now, man, that nigga got that Bentley. Now, man, big
Yo.
that. They started talking about the niggas in the streets with the money.
boy, they gave me a headache, man. I sat there, I had a headache. That was my version of scared straight. It wasn't.
That's deep. That's deep.
Yo, look.
But
yo,
that's deep though.
Yeah.
That what that does, it shows how deep you was.
Yeah.
How far away you were from the stupidity, the ignorance, the
So in 10 years, he done watched this shit switch.
Exactly.
From the 80s to the 90s.
You don't watch this shit. You don't watch niggas argue over another niggas.
Yo, I sat there, man. I was like,
Man, and that's crazy.
I don't
And
want
that's
to be
deep.
around these dudes. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway,
So that's when your switch came on. You said,
That's
man,
when
I
my
can't-
switch
I can't
came
come
on.
back.
Yeah, because you gotta be honest to yourself, man. You can lie to the whole world, man, but you should never lie to the man in the mirror.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? The minute I started feeling like I can't do this no more, it means I had to change my life. If you know you can't do that time, don't
I did
be
it.
out here
I did it.
breaking the law.
I did it when I
You know, when
realized.
I was 20 years old, man, this is my word. I felt like on any given day, I could get a system 10, which meant I probably could have pushed it to 15. Like I could have walked any day, it wouldn't even have shook me. I'd have been, give me that.
You one of them niggas that be hollering about, I'm ready to crash out right
Say,
now.
man.
I'll crash out. You one of them niggas.
Yo, but by
Yeah.
the time I got in my 30s, yo, I was like, at 30, I was like, maybe I could give them 5. But by 32, I was like, man, I ain't trying to give these people nothing. So I turned my life, I started changing my life around. You understand what I'm saying?
And
Yeah.
what you saying is so real because it was a time where it was I had to go to prison.
You look forward to it.
Like I hear all the homies come home, they cut up, they stock it, they walking
You look
around,
forward to it.
and you look at it, and I'm like, damn. And I'm watching the gravitation of our culture, how they gravitate to those kind of people.
Look, man, we used to buy the janitor suits to look like we was in jail on the street. Man.
That lifestyle.
Yeah.
That lifestyle.
I used to be in
lifestyle.
I used to be in recess in 6th grade, developing my walk, talking about when I get to prison, what I'm gonna do. Like
How
yeah.
I'ma talk?
You know,
I was in the 6th grade on the playground talking like that, man.
Facts,
you
man.
know what turned me out though? It wasn't even the movie. It was the soundtrack to Superfly. I would play that shit over and over and over on an 8-track. That's how long ago that was.
The old nigga played it. He used to play it all the time at the club.
Yo,
Yeah.
man, the soundtrack to Superfly. I was just in a fantasy world. I was like 8 years old, man. Like, yo, I want to be like this guy. You know, beating the man, beating the system. I used to
Man.
watch the blaxploitation
Me
movies.
too. I'm the product of that.
Hell Up in Harlem,
Yeah.
Come Back Charleston Blues.
Yeah.
I used to sneak in the movie theater and see them joints. And they had a profound impact on me, man. People say that the art does not influence people. It does.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah.
You know, and
When I saw
everybody knows it, but they deny it because they don't want to be accountable for what happens from it.
Facts.
when I saw The Last Dragon, I done seen plenty of Bruce Lee movies like a motherfucker.
Me too.
But boy, when they came out, what was it, 87, 88, The Last Dragon? And
Bruce Leroy.
Bruce Leroy. Nigga, I want to be show enough.
Show enough.
Yeah.
The Shogun of
yeah,
Harlem.
yeah, I want to be show enough. Yeah. But I noticed, and we went to the movie theater to see this. Nigga, everybody done karate for that summer. We all, man.
You see how we all the same, bro?
Yeah.
You know we did that? Make nunchucks out of broomsticks and all that stupid shit.
Yeah.
Well,
We
we
like to
made
act like we
belts
so different.
out of
You know
falls
what I mean?
paper.
But
Yeah.
shit,
Well,
look,
that's
Yeah.
why we all wear Michael Jordan tennis shoes when they come
come
out.
on, man.
Yeah.
That's why we all listen to the same rapper at the same time.
Yeah,
There's no variety of us anymore.
yeah,
We really all the same.
yeah.
We let the lines divide us. So let's speed it up a little bit. Because we really going through like the historic part of hip hop as well. So you done took us through the 80s. We got the 90s. We touched on somewhat of the I'm gonna say the 40s, 50s, and 60s because that was the heroin generation. Now you got gang banging in New York.
Yeah, that's like again, that was the music that did that. The gangbanging in all honesty,
In
right?
New York, Crips and Bloods in New York. You couldn't
But
have ever made me believe that would exist.
check it though, check it. I can help everybody understand how that happened. It happened with the rise of Death Row and Tupac. See, what people don't know is that back then, Bloods were a minority in LA. So you can't explain to me why Bloods are a majority everywhere else except where they come from. And it's the music. It's absolutely the music. It's Death Row. It represented power, Suge Knight, blah, 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 Pac, you know.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
People love Pac and all that, but you cannot point to a positive contribution that this man did. I'm tired of hearing about Dear Mama. He made one good song and 100 hit 'em ups. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you like his music, you like his music, but let's not pretend like this
And
man.
he wasn't no real gangster. He was a good kid, just misguided and misled.
Let's not pretend that this man did not sow the seeds of division in the community. And he didn't start off like that. I was at the Jack the Rapper when Pop released his first album, Strictly for My Niggas. It was cool. There was a lot of fighting going on at the Jack the Rapper that year. It started having a lot of fighting. As soon as the LA dudes got into the rap game, they came with a certain energy all the time. You know what I mean?
All the time.
All the time.
That
So-
bully energy, all the time.
Well, you know.
You ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Well, because that was the whole part of their gangsterism, was the bulliness.
So I remember there was fighting, and the one thing that stuck out to me was that Pop was on stage and he grabbed the mic, and even though it was black people attacking black people, he was promoting turning on the police, you know, and that's a very familiar tactic that I see. Because we have no power over our own people, we look to find a unifying target, be it white supremacy, police brutality. We can't manage what's going on in our own community, because the minute we try to tell our own people not to do this, they be like, man, who the fuck are you, man? Shut the fuck up.
Nigga, I kill
Facts.
you, nigga.
You know,
Facts.
and everybody
First
knows.
thing come out their mind.
And
Nigga, I kill you.
Yo, everybody knows this. This is why Farrakhan is in Chicago and he can't do shit about what's going on over there, because nobody cares. Nobody cares what he has to say. If he's talking about white people, everybody gonna show up. And it gives the illusion that he has some influence over these people. But if you can't stop people from doing what they're doing, especially when it's self-destructive, you don't have no influence.
That's why I stand up against this shit.
If you can get people to march to D.C. and blame white people, we good for that. And I'm not saying that white people don't deserve some blame. But what do we control with each other? You understand what I'm saying? This is your crew in here. If they start acting up, if you can't tell them to, yo, man, chill, then I got to be like, well, this ain't really your crew.
Yeah.
You don't have no power.
You ain't got no power.
You ain't got no power.
And if you look at who we call leaders, all they do is express a safe perspective that keeps them from being scrutinized or challenged, because they want to travel a path of least resistance, get their clout and their little bit of change or whatever they work in the room for, and go about their business. See, a real leader, man, would say the things that are unpopular because they need to be said. See, and that's where leadership comes from. Not that you're trying to find favor.
Man, he just broke down and
You know
got.
what I mean?
Well, you say, man,
Listen.
I've been trying to.
You're a New York brother. Is that what happened to Malcolm?
You know, oh man.
Man, y'all know.
Listen,
man.
listen.
See,
listen.
we only know Malcolm.
I'm gonna say,
And it's not to
you know,
belittle anything.
No, I'm not gonna. I think Malcolm was a brilliant speaker. And when I say this, people take offense. I think Umar Johnson is today's Malcolm. You know, he got a great perspective. He's very, he talks circles around me. Malcolm, I couldn't debate Malcolm. You understand what I'm saying? However, what did they do? And Malcolm's Malcolm's greatest accomplishment was building the nation of, recruiting people to the Nation of Islam, right? Now check this out. I don't know how much he recruited. Elijah did a lot of work before Malcolm came. Malcolm, with his charisma, he helped, enlist the roster, drew members. But where Malcolm became irrelevant, and most people don't get it, is when he recruited Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali displaced Malcolm in the nation, because now Muhammad Ali was a celebrity, a real celebrity. And He was engaging and charismatic. And you will see that as Ali's presence rose in the nation, Malcolm's declined. They didn't need him anymore. He actually recruited his replacement. You understand what I'm saying? Now, and again, no disrespect to Malcolm, but we just got to tell the truth, speak the truth and shame the devil. Malcolm may have posed with a gun, but he never bust that motherfucker.
That's what I tell people
You
all the
understand
time.
what I'm saying?
Elijah Muhammad wasn't with getting no guns. Hey, no, nigga, I mean, like, you don't got no guns.
But Elijah did have a crew, though. Jeremiah Shabazz and the others out of Philly were the gangsters in the nation. They were the ones that made it possible for Elijah to not get challenged on certain controversial things that I'm not even going to go down the rabbit hole with right now. But everybody knows what they are. And if you don't know who Jeremiah Shabazz is, you got to Google him and look up the Hanafi killings, Hanafi. Because Abdul Khalis, who had converted Lou Alcindor to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he spoke ill of Elijah Muhammad. He wrote letters to Elijah Muhammad calling him a hypocrite, which was a big insult in the nation. And do you know what happened to him for that? The crew from Philly went to his house in D.C., and they just missed him by 5 minutes, and they killed everybody in the house, drowned the babies and everything. This is documented fact. This is where the nation gets that ferocious reputation from, because they had gangsters, and you can't regulate nothing unless you got them kind of people in the cut somewhere. All you paper pushing, people talking all this and thinking you're gonna get up there and talk about how many books you read and wow people with your intelligence, you're not gonna motherfucking regulate shit unless you could push a button and make shit happen. And that's what kept Elijah afloat. Otherwise, he would have been got challenged. Yo, the most hardcore dudes in the Nation of Islam were out of Philly and out of New Jersey. And when you look at who killed Malcolm, they came out of Jersey. And who went after Khalisim, they came out of Philly. But Jeremiah Shabazz, and he's on YouTube, you should hear what he got to say about Malcolm. He was making fun of Malcolm. He said Malcolm didn't like to work. He said Malcolm just liked to preach. This is what he said. He had Malcolm living with him. You know what I mean? I knew a brother named Sherman Muhammad who knew Jeremiah Shabazz. He said Jeremiah had gold doorknobs in his house in Philadelphia. Real gold doorknobs, you know what I mean? Yeah. And we talking about like in the early 70s, late 60s. Yeah. This is how he was moving. Yeah. He didn't get them gold doorknobs selling bean pies. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, real talk.
Man, there's always a dark.
This shit deep right here, y'all.
Look, man. The strong rule the weak, and the wise rule the strong.
You know and only the strong can show compassion for the weak.
But see, blessed are we, both strong and wise, for we maintain an abundance of options. See, when you're strong and wise, you can talk to them in any language that they talk in and deal with them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's like, man, when I see all of these people that we call leaders, and I know they ain't gonna bust a grape, so I know they can't move the crowd.
They can't move the crowd.
They can't if you ain't gonna, you know. And I ain't out here promoting gangsterism, but I understand what gangsterism is, and gangsters run the world. You understand what I'm saying? When Putin was, when Ukraine was talking about they want to join NATO, Putin put his troops on their border. He didn't go to the United Nations and make a speech and got a round of applause.
He said, y'all ain't gonna do it. And y'all see we're at war right now, don't you?
Yo, and that's the only way shit happens. And that's why we need strong men. We need warriors. We don't need pontificators. We could send them out to deliver the message, but somebody got to get their hands dirty if you want to clean up the community.
Let me just say this without hurting our monetization. And I'm gonna keep it politically correct because I got staff that I gotta pay. There's something that they call the dark web, and there's some groups, there's some individuals, there's some people. They invisible to us. They invisible to us, but they can push a button and make something happen.
All day.
That's how an 18-year-old kid can drive 4 or 5 hours and go kill 10 black people.
Oh, brother, man, come on now. Woo! Charleston. Come
Say,
on. You
Facts.
going there, huh? You
yeah,
going there.
well, I got to. I got to because we talking. Because we don't know gangster,
Yeah.
and that's why I use the term. I play gangster. You playing gangster. We playing gangster. No. This man, we playing. We as black people, we playing with the guns and our concept and our ideology of what a gangster is.
Boy, man, listen. It's funny you said that about, not funny like a humorous, but look, man, there's more to what's going on in the world than meets the eye.
Facts, man.
You know? And,
Facts.
And the truth is a heavy burden. I don't know if people can handle the truth. I don't think so. And that's why they deny it when you present it to them.
That's why they don't speak it.
They rather just go to hookah and do whatever they do, whatever distractions they indulge in.
They don't want to speak it.
Yo, man, you know, this 18-year-old kid working at McDonald's, living with his grandmother, he go buy 2 ARs. He got this truck. He's
tactical.
Yo, look, I'm talking about in Uvalde. You was talking about Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about Uvalde.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing.
It's the same mechanism at work here.
Yeah.
It's going to be the mental health piece. Listen, I work in mental health.
I'm being trained and certified in
Look.
adult, juvenile, and youth mental health. 3 different components.
I work in mental health, and I can tell you, by and large, people with mental health and illnesses are more apt to hurt themselves
They're
than
not violent.
other people.
No, they're not violent.
Damn, say, man. Say, hey, hold
They're
on.
not violent.
All I want is for everybody to catch what he just
No,
said.
they're not violent.
Catch what he just said. And I've been saying that for so long.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear nothing about nobody saying mental health when it got to do with somebody hurting somebody else. Because you just said enough.
They're more apt to hurt themselves than other
You just
people.
said it,
And
man.
there's a pattern. You see the man Frank James in New York shoot up the subway with the smoke bombs. Yeah. This man he homeless. He renting trucks, got guns, smoke bombs. Where they getting the money to buy
That's not
all
mental
of this?
health. Yeah, it's not
Well,
mental health.
there's something else at play here. I know.
Man,
I don't want to say I
boy.
know what it is, but I have a strong idea. But I don't want to put it out there like
Facts,
that. 'Cause
facts.
I'm not trying to be the black Alex Jones. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm really trying to help us as much as I can, where I can, and I'm not trying to be the person, the hero.
Facts.
I just feel as a man, I have to step up and do my part. Because in the black community, what we need is more unsung heroes. People who do what has to be done without trying to get recognition and rewards just because they can and they should. You know what I mean? And by leading by example, look, man, I'll be 58 in September, right? Look at me. To this day, I still prepare for war.
Yeah.
All day, every day. My mind is on that. My body. I don't walk around like I'm a pushover, because I'm not. I'm on go because I understand how serious it is out here.
Boy, you
All
give
day.
a boy
And
say.
let me tell you something else.
Man.
Not to scare,
Man, I
not to
love
scare
it.
anybody.
I love it.
Not to scare anybody. But when I walk out the house, I say my prayers every morning. Yes, I'm a spiritual man. I'm a believer. I believe in God. I say my prayers every morning. But when I walk out that door, I am ready to die or kill if necessary, for the right cause. Every single day.
Every moment of it.
Every moment of it. Because it's that serious out here for us. It doesn't mean you can't have fun. But yo, man, a man has to be a warrior for the people that he loves. His woman, his children.
Every
and
day.
you have to have that warrior spirit. And it doesn't mean that I'm a troublemaker. Because I'm the most pleased, thank you, excuse me, brother, you could ever want to meet. As a matter of fact, when I see strangers, black men, how you doing, brother?
Say, look at our black man. Hey,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on, brother?
Yeah, because I try to
Life.
spread that. You
Life.
understand what I'm
Life.
saying?
Say, what's up, brother?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Hey,
life.
look at our
What's up?
soul. Yeah.
I ain't walking around with no kind of, get out my way, man, you don't want none of this, none of that.
Yeah.
But internally, I am ready for the enemy. and it ain't gonna be easy for him. I ain't saying that he gonna lose. I don't know.
But he gonna have to
I just
he gonna have to eat
I
his
just
Wheaties.
know.
He gotta eat his Wheaties though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
facts,
I-
facts.
You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
real life.
I just
Real
know
life.
win or lose, you got to be ready.
You gotta be ready.
And if you're not ready, you gonna cower out.
You're gonna cower out, man. And the thing is, like we was talking earlier, the reason why I say it may sound dramatic, but what it is with me, I learned this as a young dude when I was wild. When I said I was ready to go to prison for 10 years on any given day, it was part of my psychology. You own the loss so you can claim the victory.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You own the loss so you can claim the victory. Because people don't win because they're scared to lose. So own the loss from the gate. So you know what? I can handle that. If that's what it is, so be it. And you become so fearless that you fuck around and win, man. You understand? So when I say I walk out the door and I'm ready to die, tomorrow's promised to no one, man.
No one.
Man, I found an old video. Man, I'm cussing out the police. Man, I'm saying some shit. I'm saying I'm ready to die. Y'all can shoot me. I'm antagonizing. And I'm saying to myself, man, what the fuck? But that was my mentality because I understood I was in the community fighting for something. I'm on the front lines in the community, working with kids, speaking out against police injustices, going downtown at every city council meeting. Nah, man, you got to be ready to die.
Look,
Fucking with these people.
Look, man, in 1992, I was in Raleigh, North Carolina. And my cousin, my first cousin, blood cousin, my mom and his mom's sisters. You know we family. You understand what I'm saying?
Ain't no question,
Yeah.
Ain't no question about this one.
Set me up to be kidnapped. I came there to help him out. He set me up to be kidnapped. And it was broad daylight. And when they tried to get me to put me in the car, I wouldn't go, right? And I made up my mind because coming out of New York, when I came out of New York, I'm not going with nobody nowhere, man. You're going to have to leave me right here.
Man, boy, give it to the world.
Yeah.
Look, you understand what I'm saying? I'm not getting in the car. I don't care about living 5 minutes longer.
Yeah.
None of that punk shit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. The minute I made up my mind that I was ready to die, that's when I got free. You understand what I'm saying? And I lived.
Yeah.
Had I been scared, ain't no telling what would have happened.
Yeah.
You know what it is to be kidnapped, abducted, tied up, all this
Tortured and
all this shit.
yeah. I can't even think about it.
I was in a robbery one time. This nigga come through the classy lady. And nigga try to put me on the ground. I ain't getting on the ground. I'll to hit the register. Man, let's see what's in this goddamn register right here. I ain't laying on the ground. Let me help you rob this motherfucker. But I ain't getting on the ground. Yeah, no, I don't see I want to move it out that end. Yeah, I ain't getting on the ground, nigga.
So listen, and I'm saying these things, man, not to big myself up. Somebody gotta show men how to be men, these young men. There's not a code, bro. They just don't know.
Well,
They just don't know.
Well, that's how a lot of niggas get their mamas and them killed. Because when they get put in certain situations, they don't have their mind really made up. Most niggas in the streets today, 80% don't have their mind made up to go do life, to die or to kill.
That's right.
So what happened, they get in situation and some circumstances occur and they pull a gun out and somebody end up dying.
And the indecisiveness cost.
Impulsiveness, yeah.
Yo, look.
The impulsiveness, right? So that we'll take that back to brain development. But what none of us groomed to be gangsters.
See, that's what we got.
What none of us groomed to be gangsters, man.
That's where we gotta snap at right to this day. We dealing with the youth. We dealing with kids. They never was given the right guidelines on how to be a gangster.
We catching cases fresh out of mama house. No man in it. Half these niggas catching cases at 14, 15, they first felonious cases. The police get them. How they know not to snitch? They mama coming down there saying, you better tell it.
Look.
So you want him to be gangster?
See,
who taught him the rules?
Now this is what's crazy though. What he's saying is 100% fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
We jumped off the porch,
Right.
all right?
Mm-hmm.
We went through the system. Through my whole cycle of going through that system.
Mm-hmm.
The last 4 years is when I ran into real gangsters.
Nigga been down there 18 years.
Listen to what I'm saying. I've been down here. I did 18 years flat.
Nigga playing gangster, doing everything.
Listen, playing gangster, doing everything you could call.
And then you ran into the real deal.
Homie, when I ran into these motherfucker that, man, you locked up how long? Now I've been locked up 37 years. Like, God damn.
Yes.
And you heard what you speak now,
Yeah.
I heard then.
Mm-hmm.
And we asked about a reality check. That was my reality
That
check.
was your reality.
And
check.
that's what I say.
You get what I'm
All
saying?
young niggas got to go to prison because this where they go meet
That's
the
the
real
reality
men.
check. Like,
You won't get to really meet them out here because they ain't
exactly.
gonna talk.
So when they hear us talk,
Mm-hmm.
Dewberry, man, you talking like that? Nah, man, you gangster, my nigga. Nigga, you don't even know what gangster is.
You can't do 40 years.
You don't even know what gangster is. You don't even know what defines the word gangster. You don't understand the orchestration. You don't even understand the goddamn thing because you niggas nowadays will commit a crime and go on Instagram and tell about the goddamn crime.
No, listen.
Make songs about it.
This
Tell me about it.
This is when I realized me and my generation not gangster. Because I started paying attention at the funerals. When they open the casket and niggas see that dead body, niggas crying. Oh, my nigga, go. Oh, my nigga. Nigga, we killing people. We hold up.
Listen, yo,
Then you putting your nigga on a t-shirt. Nigga, well, that nigga was a gangster. What he doing on a t-shirt?
look, I'm not here to promote the wrong values, but I'm going to say this. In 1987, December, a good friend of mine, Juan Tomas Melendez, got murdered. The individual who murdered him, his name was Ricky Law. Ricky Law was out on parole. We went to the funeral home, myself and 3 others, and we spoke to his mom and all that. Man, we was out looking for Ricky Law. You know how hard we was looking for Ricky Law? Right on Jamaica Avenue where the parole office was. Busy area, commercial area, shopping, all that. I mean, like going shopping for clothes and all that. Business area.
Yeah.
It was in one of those buildings, I think like 162nd or 63rd Street, I can't remember. And we were parked in the car on the block with the parole office, where armed parole officers and police at, and we didn't give a fuck. If Ricky Law had showed up, because nobody told the police he did it, but we knew he did it. If Ricky Law had showed up, I wouldn't be here right now talking to y'all. And you know what? At that time in my life, I was okay with that. I owned the loss because my man got killed. And when he was dead, they robbed his body on the ground while he was dead, turned his pockets out and all that. It was the greatest offense. We went to the funeral home, talked to his mom. We didn't even stay. We left the damn funeral home because we was trying to get Ricky before Juan went in the ground. You understand what I'm saying? So I know what it is, man. I know what it is. But again, man, you gotta think. We put ourselves in situations. Sometimes, man, God saves us from ourselves. You understand what I'm saying?
He not saving you from nobody else but yourself.
But yourself. Because
That's deep.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, God,
God, I don't want to be that fucked up where you gotta save me from me. I don't want
I've been that guy a few times, yo. I've been that guy a few times. And that's why I try to do so much positive things now. Because I feel like I was spared, man. Yo, man, when I look back at my life, I said, God damn it, you didn't like yourself?
Hell yeah.
What was you doing? Like,
You just
trying to throw it away? Like, you understand what I'm saying? All this stuff that they glamorize now, right? And you don't have to be a gangster to be a real man. Let me say that.
Real life.
A real man is above a gangster.
Real life.
All the things that gangsters do that are honorable are right in alignment with what men do. That's what makes it honorable. You understand what I'm saying?
That's what makes the gangsterism honorable, because he's trying to align with men principles.
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
just that he's pretending
Yo,
over here
there's-
and then coming back. Yeah, I got you.
There's no higher title for a male child to have than to be an honorable man.
Grown man.
Yo, going to work, taking care of his family, his kids. There's nothing more respectable than that. Protecting your family. You go to work every day, but if somebody come in that door, they over your dead body, literally and figuratively.
Life.
Yeah.
You
Real
understand?
life.
That's a
Real
real man.
life.
There's nothing more admirable than that. So all this other talk, like people taking the scenic route, and they going through gangsterism, like I did as a kid. It was like a rite of passage. I wanted to demonstrate valor and honor and all these things, but that's not the only place where you could demonstrate that.
Yeah.
That's one of the most,
Yeah. There's actually some manhood principles and
Boom.
trainings that you can go through.
That's right.
Where you don't have to go through the
Exactly,
gangsterism path.
exactly. Because what you really want to be is not a gangster.
Is
You
a
want
man.
to be a man.
You want to be a
In the
grown
true sense of
man.
the word, you want to be a man. And I think
I was gonna ask you, well, how does a one walk itself back from being, going to the path of gangsterism? But you answered that question, because if you understood what a gangster is trying to align with, it's what the principles of a man walk on.
the honorable ones anyway, you got the scumbags, the slimes, and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
They do what they do, but
Yeah.
they ain't got no kind of honor and integrity.
No.
You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
But when you find yourself in that world and you looking for honor and integrity, it might be a cue that world is not for you. See, like my thing is this, right? I come through that world, but I am not of that world.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Thanks.
I come through it, but I am not of it. I'm gonna drop this, right? So in May of 2002, May or June, I had a dream. So I was fucked up, man, because back in '95, after the Puff Daddy debate and all that, I started turning my life around, which means I ain't had no money no more.
Yeah.
Shit going bad.
Midlife crisis now.
Yo, oh man, because
Yeah.
you don't put so much energy and ties into this. This is your network. You don't know how to do nothing else. So that transition period is rough.
Damn,
But you gotta tough it out though. So anyway, May, June of 2002, I had a dream. I dreamt I was in the audience of a talk show, and the guest was a gypsy psychic. No bullshit. This happened. As the guest come out, she pointed at me and said my name. In my dream now, I said, if you want to impress me, tell me how to get rich. And the woman said, you'll have to come out of the fire if you want the light to shine on you. Immediately my eyes opened and I sat up on the bed. And I was like, yo, what the fuck was that? You got to come out of the fire if you want the light to shine on you. Like, oh shit. Months went by. I had no idea. I was like, yo, I'm not doing this. I'm trying to, because anytime I'm down, I try to figure out, what am I doing
What
wrong?
am I doing wrong? Yeah.
Who am I dealing with? I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It's
What
a-
woman I'm
yeah,
fucking?
yeah,
It's a-
exactly.
Yeah, what woman I'm
I didn't
laying
even
with?
want to.
Yeah,
I didn't even want to
everything.
go there.
Yeah, man.
All
Yeah,
that,
I gotta
yeah.
look at everything,
Yo,
man.
look,
Yeah.
Yo, look.
Who I'm riding in the car with? All kind of shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
See, I'm telling you, we all got more in common if we just talk with each other. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out what the fuck, what am I doing wrong? Who am I with that I shouldn't be with? All right, cool. October 30th, 2002. Jam Master Jay gets murdered. I get a phone call. They be like, yo, you heard what happened? I said, what? He said, yo, Jay got killed. I said, man, that shit probably ain't even real, man. These motherfuckers just love running with gossip. Because they do. They exaggerate a lot. You know what I mean? Like, turns out he did die. I didn't know what happened. Didn't care. I mean, it was like, oh, shit. I'm dealing with my own pain. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't happy, but I was indifferent to it. To me, I'm just being 100%
I got a
honest.
toothache, so I can't worry about your headache.
Come on now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Man, the next day they start talking, saying that I did it. Right?
Oh man.
Now this Jam Master Jay now. This is Run DMC Jam Master Jay, and they saying you killed him.
Look, I've known Jay all my life. He lived right around the corner from me. I went to Catholic school with Run and DMC. Me and Run used to come by my house every day. And we walked to school together. His brother Russell used to sell weed. Run would steal the man weed, and me and him roll it up and smoke it.
Yeah.
I know these people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, I know these people. I'm like, what? Now, there had been talk of some, like, you know, head bumping between me and Jay. That had happened 7 years prior. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yo, in 1997, Jay set up a meeting with Leo Cohen for me. If I needed Jay to do something, he would do it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But people who don't know like to talk about things all the time. So anyway,
That's most of the talk is from the people who don't know.
who don't know?
That's most of the chatter in our community.
90% of the time.
And then on top of that, y'all gotta realize that I had a past. And because I'm not a flashy individual, I'm low key. As a matter of fact, after I became a suspect in this, the feds went to 3 penitentiaries to visit associates of mine.
Now this.
Oh,
this
man.
Now,
Yeah.
now,
Oh, man.
so Jay murder is after you going through the fire.
I
now.
was
So the light can
that
shine.
was the fire. And yo, that was the fire. That back to the dream.
Okay.
I realized at that moment I was trying to figure out what the fire was. But
That was it.
That was it.
That was it.
But you know where I drew the strength from? If you want the light to shine on you, you're gonna have to come out of the fire. And knowing that the light was at the end of the tunnel, I started fighting. And boy, I'd be damned. Well, I'm not damned, but if the light ain't been shining on me ever since, man, listen.
How?
The dream was prophetic, bro.
So
It was not it was not a regular dream.
Listen to me.
It was a message. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now that's some fire most people can't come out of.
Yeah, that's a major fire.
Listen,
Because
and I
of
was broke.
Especially the way that y'all getting down there in New York. So it's
Look,
like,
Well, and then plus the
Look.
name, who it is. They
That's what I'm
you done
saying.
this to.
Listen, man. At the time, there was a couple things going on. They were offering a $500,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the person responsible. Simultaneously, they put my name out there. And then on top of that, they was putting money on my head. You understand
see,
what I'm
that,
saying?
exactly.
Yo,
That's what I was saying.
And so listen, look, man.
Hold on, they ain't even pick you up off the street. So you can damn near just get out.
Look, come on now. Listen.
Now let me
so-
just say this.
So they were go ahead.
Look at this incentive.
Dang.
500,000 leading to the arrest, not the
Motherfuckers-
conviction, just leading
The
to the arrest.
arrest.
Look, man. And conviction. The conviction too. They wanted, you know what I mean? $500,000. Niggas would lie on their mama for $500,000,
What?
bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, look. So, and they put my name out there and dangling a reward and all this. And supposedly they got people.
You walk on the street, that's all that's going on.
Man, I was walking past the newsstand because we used to read the newspaper back then, not like online.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my name on the front page of the paper in New York. My
Damn.
a buddy of mine, he was down in Atlanta from New York too. He called me. He said, "Man, they saying you did it, man. Yo, you got to get the fuck out of there." And I was like, "Yo, where am I gonna go?" You know, when people be talking about running, you need money to run. What you gonna do? Go down, visit a relative, and hide out under the bed or some shit?
They want some money, they struggling.
Yeah,
they
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, yo, you. So what I did was I ran right at him. I reached out to this attorney, Marvin Kornberg. He was John Gotti's son-in-law, lawyer Carmine Agnello. He represented him. He represented Justin Volpe, the cop that put the plunger in Abner Louima's ass. And he represented the 4 cops that shot Amadou Diallo 41 times. So he's a big name lawyer, right?
Yeah, he a big
real
dog.
good.
He a big name. So I called him, and I'll never forget. Jay got killed on a Wednesday. It was October 30th. on that Saturday, which was November 2nd, I met with Kornberg. I told him I ain't got no money. I said, all I need you to do is walk with me to the precinct for questioning. And the reason why I was prepared to go lay up and fight it, but I didn't want to go to the precinct without legal representation where they could say
Smart
that
man,
I
smart,
said things.
smart man. You never want to do that.
You see what I'm
It's
saying?
the reason why they say you need an attorney to talk to.
See,
Yeah.
I was going to turn myself in, but I needed the lawyer. So anyway, I got with Kornberg and he called the precinct. And he said, listen, I heard you're looking for one of my clients. And they said, what's his name? He said, Curtis Schoon. They said, yeah. He said, I'm bringing him in on Monday. So if you guys pick him up before then, just remember he got legal representation. So he took, Monday was November 4th. I remember those dates, everything well. Monday morning now, I wake up, I was with my chick, and she was naked, and she was like, yo, you want to hit it? I was like, nah. I was doing push-ups. And I was looking at the TV. And what happened was, on the news, the media was outside the precinct. They was waiting for me to come because the police had tipped them off that I was coming in. Because it's a big case, right?
Very big case. We all, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's humongous.
Bruh, I put on 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of boxers, 2 T-shirts, my starter kit, because I'm going to Rikers Island, and I got to wait for somebody to bring me some stuff up, and I wanted to have where I could wash out one and change it up. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. This is how I'm thinking. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
See, I'm a man that I embrace what's coming at me.
Yeah.
I don't be buckling and crying.
Real life,
and
real
shit.
life,
You
real life.
understand what I'm saying? So we get there, and Kornberg says to me, he said, look, we're not going in no more. And I was like, why? What's up? Like, I was like, I'm ready to go. Because I made up my mind. I own the
I'm
loss.
finna take this head on.
You understand what?
Yeah.
I always own the loss first.
Yeah.
And then claim the victory.
Yeah.
I had owned the loss. So he said, look, man, you see what's going on TV? Last thing I want is to walk you over there and somebody say, recognize, look at you on TV and say they saw you outside the studio, blah, blah, blah. He called the police and screamed on them. Said, you shouldn't have done that. Now I'm not bringing them in. And if you want them, you're going to have to charge them. That's what he said.
He put the pressure back on
He
you.
put the pressure back on him. Yeah. So I'm sitting in the office with him. And him and another Jewish lawyer, they was talking. And they grilling me. They like, come on, man, did you whack him? I told them, I said, why would I do that? How could I get water from a rock? So I used that reference on purpose because Moses took his staff and hit the rock and water came forth from it.
Yeah.
You know, so the Jews being Jews, they looked at each other like, yo, what the fuck is he talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just smiled at each other. So we sat.
You done pulled one of my moves. Yeah, that's one of my moves.
Look, so we sat down and the phone rang about an hour after. And Kornberg said, yeah, okay. He put the phone down. He said, that's it. You can go. They never had nothing on me. No witnesses.
But
no
if you go
nothing.
talk,
yeah,
if you go in and answer a question, they get,
they knew my back. Look, man, again, I'm not anti-police. I'm not anti-anybody. But my experience in life is that police focus on closing cases, not solving crimes.
Facts.
And if you fit the bill,
that's it.
That you fucked.
Well, that's what happened with the Central Park fire. That's what happens, and that's what they call in law enforcement kicking the ball down the road. We make our arrest, we close the case, let them sort it out in court. Case closed.
Yeah, 20 years, 27. You see these brothers coming out, spend 27 years in prison for something he didn't do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, and you know, you know what be tripping me out though?
And that's everywhere.
The community be talking about, man, this ain't right. But y'all the ones that sent him to jail. Y'all the ones that took the stand against him.
Facts.
Y'all the ones that spread the lies.
Facts.
Yo, look, man.
Facts, man,
Look,
for real.
Man. I felt so bad because I didn't do it. And nobody
came to your defense.
Not one.
See, that was my next question. How did the community reply to you?
Look, I was so hot. I was like, fuck the community after that. If nobody stood up for me, I've done things for people. I help people out, man. The very next year, I came back with Playboy magazine, and they did a 13-page write-up. And I brought the journalists right to the community, right in Hollis, put him in the barbershop, and made people talk to his ass. Yeah, y'all want me to be an animal, I'm going to be an animal now. You understand? Because you got me fighting for my life out here. You know, I carried that cloud for 18 years until they arrested people in 2020. And while I was doing that, I done started a business, employed 20 W-2 workers, 40 contractors, serving 1,000 people. I done made films. I done contributed to books that got Starred Review and Publishers Weekly, Queens Reign Supreme, produced on TV, American Gangster, became a published journalist. I did all of this shit with a cloud over my head.
So that, see,
You know, man,
see, he read my mind. Because
Yeah.
I'm asking these questions in my head. See, this like a wrongfully convicted nigga. This like a nigga been in prison, been wrongfully convicted, and he's finally been cleared and freed, and he's not angry, he's not resentful. Or is there any resentment? Or is there any?
If I'm gonna keep it a buck, I'm not mad at nobody. I don't hate anybody, but I don't fuck with niggas too tough, bro.
That hurt, didn't it, man?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, that hurt when.
that hurt. Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
that hurt.
So you
Yeah,
say
nah,
that
nah, that hurt,
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, nigga.
That hurt,
no.
that hurt.
But let's
Nah,
take it.
that hurt, man.
But let's
I
go-
get you. I
Let's
get
go
you.
back. Let's go back to the beginning of the show. You said after that incident, because of your past, you wanted to work so hard to change how people see you.
Yeah,
People
man.
must have really thought that then.
They did. They did.
Based on who you,
They-
not who you were, but what you've done.
Listen. I take ownership for promoting certain imagery of myself, but it was done not. You know, when you're a lone wolf like myself, sometimes the only thing that keep you safe is that you keep people thinking, damn, I don't know if I should fuck with him right now, man. That nigga dangerous.
Yeah.
So as a defense mechanism, I promoted a certain image of myself that became obsolete at a certain point because it was no longer necessary. But it came back and bit me in the ass, man. You know what I mean? But still, I'm telling you, man, there's so much shit that I could talk about.
Well,
People I did things for. Look, man, I'm gonna give you another story. And I'm gonna say names because I know the police gonna be watching this because in 2020, the U.S. attorney reached out to my attorney and offered me immunity to talk to them on the record about the case.
they know they done you wrong.
I felt like they was trying to fuck me again. Because the only reason they would want to talk to me is because they want me to assassinate Jay's character. They building a case that he was involved with drugs. So they wanted me to verify that without...
The street gangster guy with this reputation.
They
yeah.
wanted, because the original story is me and Jay was involved in a drug deal, and it went bad, and that's why I did that 7 years
hey,
later.
listen, hold on, listen.
Look.
Listen, these are my questions.
Damn.
Because as I listen to
Damn.
the case, I'm saying to myself, they want to know, well, what's his involvement with Jay? You don't rap, you don't sing, you're not in the
you
industry.
see-
Why Jay fucking with him but y'all childhood?
But I believe what they wanted was for me to confirm that Jay was a drug dealer because Jay's people, while they were running to the police, they didn't really stop to think that the police was going to check into his background too, because they don't know nothing about the police. The police investigate everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody is a goddamn suspect to the
Yeah.
police. You
Yo,
know
mama,
what I mean?
real talk.
You know what I mean? So, but they ran to the police and then they had to try to cover it up and clean it up and be like, Jay was just a DJ and this, that, that. I don't know what Jay was doing. If I did, I wouldn't speak on it anyway. If he was dealing drugs, he damn sure wasn't doing it with me.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would say. You understand what I'm saying? But when they came to me with the thing, my lawyer said, yo, man, do you want to talk to him? I said, do I have to? He said, no. I said, then fuck him. I'm not.
Why would I need immunity for something I ain't been involved in?
Yo, you know, they want me to go on the record incriminating myself in criminal activity to help them with their
And
case.
this in 2020.
Yeah, this is in 2020.
Now you done did all this
From
work.
the 80s.
Yeah,
From the
look.
80s now.
Ah,
See, listen, that's why I tell these old gangster niggas, man, why they on the internet talking?
Yo, I think they all clowns, bro.
Why
I
they
do.
on the internet
I be
talking,
watching
bro?
them. I be like, these motherfuckers is stupid. They ain't got nothing going on.
Nah, these niggas-
I could only imagine how dumb they was when they was young, because they old and stupid.
These niggas done got
You
away
know
with
what I'm saying? Like, yo.
if
Man.
you done played this part, it's things you done got away with.
Come on, bro.
Why you on here talking, man?
Look,
Why we even talking about that?
yo, you listen, man. So anyway, I didn't do that. I didn't bother with that at all. They got to deal with their case, and I told my attorney, I said, look, man, those people knew I didn't do this all this time, and they left that cloud hanging over my head, man. Nobody in Jay's family, in his circle, ever said, yo, Scoon didn't do that. It's obvious I didn't do it, man. Look, if they didn't come get me, they had so many different suspects, right? But they left my name out there for me to have to answer. For people on social media talking about, man, fuck you, you killed Jam Master Jay.
So through all these barriers, obstacles, adversity, and man, even the threat of death over your life, how do you build these businesses? How do you
Look, man.
How do you mentally? Because how do you mentally come out and be positive?
And block out all that. Cause
Look,
that's
man,
a lot.
And still, you got to overcome these
Look,
barriers.
look.
You still got to get the money. You still got to create the
Yeah.
business.
You said a key word there, adversity. Adversity introduces a man to himself. You don't know who you are till you've confronted with adversity. You may think you somebody, but when that adversity hits you, you either gonna stand up or you gonna fold like a beach chair.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I stood up. I did. You know, like that dream that I had, that dream is real, but it's not unique to me. Everybody has their fire they gotta come through. You either come through the fire or you succumb to the fire. And it happens every day, all day with brothers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some of us come through it. It could be anything. It could be a child died, cancer. It could be anything. That's your fire. We all have a fire that we have to come through that's going to test our faith. That just was what it was for me. So now how do I become positive, right? Easy. It really was. I understood that before this happened, I knew that the way I was living was wrong anyway.
Yeah.
I was in the process of transforming anyway. But what that did for me was it slammed the door shut, because I understood that now I'm not just a regular individual. If I was to go backtrack, and somebody get arrested, they could easily say, so-and-so and so-and-so, and he did this, and he told me this. I'm somebody's get out of jail card now.
Yeah.
You understand
Yeah,
what
real
I'm saying?
talk, real
Yo,
talk.
look, and I understood that. So it yo, man, even though I had no intentions of going back, that shit slammed the door shut for me. There was no more streets for me after that.
That's a scary thought.
What?
At any moment.
All they had to
Snatch
do is
the
just
coat.
say,
Yo, look.
That's a scary motherfucking
Yo,
thought,
look, man. Listen, bro. The only thing that I really regret, right? Because I believe a lot of what I went through, I did contribute to the situation.
Yeah.
Not by being involved with that situation, but just in the way I lived my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the only thing that I do have some regrets about, and I'm a man that don't regret much, man. But my sister, my closest sibling, she was 1 year younger than me. Her birthday was a day before me. She tried to hold me down so tight, man. Man, and she died of a brain aneurysm in 2004.
Yeah.
And I know worrying about me didn't help her situation none. So that's the only thing. Well, sometimes I think, but I try not to get mad about that shit, though, you know, because I got a lot of reasons to be mad with certain people. But I just say, man, you know what? It is what it is, man.
That's all nigga do, man.
It is what it is. And I'm in a better place. You dig what I'm saying? But that part, man, listen, I used to go to my sister's grave every month for over 10 years, man.
Carrying that guilt, man. Damn, I don't wear his sister into this grave.
Yeah.
Because of this shit. Yeah.
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 So that's what them fools did.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's where that anger come from. That's where it say, do you hold anybody accountable? I do. You hold the community, homie. The people that didn't even come up to say.
Not one, not Run, not DMC, none of them.
Like, come up to say,
nobody
no.
in Jay's family ever apologized to me. They was blaming Randy Allen. It was just like I was roadkill on the side of the road. They moved on to other suspects and never even doubled back to be like, yo, man.
I'm sorry, big dog, man.
Nobody.
Because with these guys, they got evidence, proof. They
Look,
solved
man,
the case.
they made documentaries. Jay's people are always on a goddamn documentary talking. Why y'all niggas making documentaries and naming streets after this man? Go find his killers. You heard what I said when my man Juan Melendez got killed, what we did.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? All Jay people ever did was get on documentaries, have fucking parties in his honor. Look, there's a slimy Steve LaBelle, right? He's the white dude out of Flushing. He got on the Jay bandwagon. He used his association with Run DMC to get a job at Relativity Records. And most people don't know at Relativity they were distributing Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah.
I would go up to Relativity like damn near like a year and a half after their album came out. These dudes were selling 85,000 copies a week. Still, a year and a half after, Relativity made a lot of money off of Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? Steve ended up being their manager. He used that to get close to Nipsey Hussle, to infiltrate with the...
I met him at the funeral.
Who, you met Steve? Yeah. Scumbag. Steve, if you're watching, I know what you did, bro. So anyway... He got close with all them LA dudes and all. They don't even know who they fucking with, man.
I met him at the funeral. We walked in the funeral with him.
Look, they don't even know who they fucking with, man. This dude, they had a Jam Master Jay weed strain. All he got is ideas how to monetize black folk. Marry Sean Kingston's mother. Like, this is a bottom-feeding white boy here, bro. Good God almighty.
Marry Sean Kingston's mama?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He'll do anything for $1. He's the epitome, the personification of a bloodsucker.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? A leech. Yeah. And he told this other dude, they did a documentary, and he helped put it together. And I told the dude, Andrew, his name is Andrew something. I'll pull his goddamn name up. Jewish cat, because Steve's Jewish too. You know what I mean? And they were talking to me. They wanted me to be in the documentary. And I'm like, yo, I'm a filmmaker, man. I got credits and all that. Y'all want me in the film? Put me on the payroll. See, they always want us to do shit for free.
Yep.
They don't never want to pay us.
Collaboration. No, pay me,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah.
Fuck collaboration.
Our content is so good, but they never want to pay us. So Steve is telling Andrew to get at me, and they got this dude, Dave Seabrooks. And they got Dave on the camera talking about me and Jay selling drugs and all this shit, man. Jay is Sammy the Bull Gravano's son-in-law. And I knew it, man. And you know when they were doing this shit, man? I was back in Coleman Young in Detroit in his run for Congress.
Mm-hmm.
He ran for mayor in 2017. I was his #1 backer then. And he ran for Congress in 2018. Now he's a councilman at large. And I backed him every step of the way, making campaign commercials and everything for him. And they put this story out about me selling drugs that had nothing to do with Jay. While I was in the middle of all of that, and I'm talking to the Jew guy, the producer, and I'm like, look, man, I could give you some insight. You could bounce shit off of me, man, but I can't get on camera because this is what I'm doing. Here he is, Andrew Siegman. This is the last message I sent him. What did it say?
When this case is over, you better get lawyered up.
Damn right. I don't fuck with these people, man. Fuck hip-hop. Fuck all these fake-ass gangsters. Motherfuckers is trampling on us. All these people doing is being minstrels and motherfucking Sambos trying to get money. You put a camera in front of them, they'll say anything and do anything and be co-conspirators in tearing other black people down for money.
And even
I
up to
ain't
get a
with
nigga killed. Yeah,
Yo,
to get a nigga killed.
So, you understand what I'm saying? Andrew Siegman, that's his name. And Steve LaBelle was feeding him information. And I'm trying to do good, get a black man elected and all that. They put this documentary out talking about I was buying drugs in California and all this. First of all, even if it's true, it got nothing to do with this man's life. Why are you fucking with me like that? See, when you people fuck with me, man, it means I'm going to fuck with you. And you ain't going to like it because I don't just do it, I overdo it. I don't know when to stop. Never
That's
did.
how I am. That's how I am. You don't, once you fuck with me, you don't get to decide when it's over.
That's right.
No.
You know what I mean?
He said I overdo
You
it.
don't get to decide how far we taking this.
Yeah,
No,
man.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, yo, man, the reason why I sent him that because my goddaughter's mother, that was a screenshot I sent to him.
Yeah.
My goddaughter, she was like 9 years old when she was watching that. Her family, her mother's family. And she was like, that's not my godfather. My godfather's nice. He this, he that, the other. These people, they will malign you, man, and walk away like it's nothing. Like it's fucking nothing. So Steve LaBelle, fuck you. Keep picking up bottom of the barrel black women, trying to ingratiate yourself to the black community. You ain't nothing but a goddamn, what Farrakhan called him, a blood-sucking leech.
So how you get involved with the American Gangster movie?
Oh, well, you know, one of my things is, not the movie, that was the series. One of my things.
The BET American Gangster series.
Yeah. I produced the Jamaican Child Posse episode. I co-produced the Supreme McGriff episode. And I was a consultant, really a producer, but I didn't get the credit for producing on the Fat Cat Nichols episode. So I worked with them three years straight, and each year they increased my role because I made things happen for them. You know, and one of my things is that, a blessing and a curse are one and the same, the difference being in the application, right? So
that's how Vlad TV did, was took y'all concept.
Well, I got Vlad. I got Vlad his first television production credit.
See, that's all he did. Was
Oh, yeah?
concept.
Yeah, it was about the Romper Room, and he through Cavario from Don Diva, he put Vlad on. I never met Vlad or whatever, but I'm always a person, right? I always believe in doing things for people. You know, the best way to receive is to give. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I'm a giving person in that respect, because I lead by example. So he put Vlad on the phone, and Vlad wanted to get the Romper Room about Mac Dre and them and all that. So I made the connection for Vlad. Never met him, never knew him. Years later, I would reach out to Vlad because he was airing videos first before he started doing all this street shit, music videos. And I had somebody who had some music. I was like, yo, could you get them some play? And he said it wasn't like up to his standards and something like that. Nigga, I got you a TV production credit, didn't know you from nowhere. And the video, it was up to the standards. But what I learned is a lot of these people don't own their platform. They won't tell you that, though. they'll make excuses of why they won't do something or can't do something. But I just felt like, yo,
That's what started breaking my heart about black people. When I started
because they don't own shit. They don't own nothing.
they'll make excuses rather than say, now, man, either now, homie, I gotta go over here. This really heals.
Yeah.
That's what started breaking my heart.
No, real talk.
That's how I feel. That's how I found my man them here, man. I came here looking for another black man, thinking he owned this. After being rejected by a Jewish woman is real powerful around here, right?
Yeah.
My heart was broken. I ain't know where to go. So I came here looking for another black man. And so this black man said, "No, I own it." "No, you ain't own it." "No, the other dude," he said, "No, I own it." Man, that nigga told me he owned this.
Look, it break your heart so much, man. Like, yo, I love black people, right?
I love them too, man.
I love
I
try not to rely on black people too much, you know what I mean? Because of that, because I don't want them to break my heart over and over where I start not liking them. I want to stay loving them.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't put them in a position to disappoint me.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? But Vlad, he's not black, and he's just like Steve LaBelle.
Yeah.
He got a black wife. You know, he work in the room, man. He used Lord Jamar and all of them. And look, man, Vlad has asked me to be on his show. I would never go on his show because of my personal experience with him. I don't have anything against, I wouldn't tell anybody else not to go there. But if I get you your very first TV production credit, and all I asked you to do was to play a video, and you gave me an excuse, I just think you're a piece of shit, man.
Well, Vlad, you ever invite me? I might explain this shit here, motherfucker. Yeah, Vlad, you put me back. I'm gonna make you explain this shit, Vlad.
Look, motherfuckers told me Vlad don't even be in the studio. You be talking to a screen.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Now, listen.
See, now check this out, right? When I told you I would do your show,
I'm coming to you.
Yeah, because this is what men do. Men sit down and say what they have to say and stand on it, face to face. And you know what? You know what I liked about Charleston? Charleston go everywhere by himself. You know who else do that? Me. You know what I'm saying? Yo, real talk. Yo, man, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to go down to Texas. I've never been to Dallas before. Never in my life.
That way.
Never. I came down here just to see this man.
That's
face
what's
to
up.
face. By myself.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Nah, that's what's
You
up.
understand what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, real talk.
Yo, man.
Yeah, you ran into a real one, Jack. Yeah, man, that's how it go.
And especially when I see Charleston getting into it with the Queens Flip crew over there in New York. I said, man, he ain't running to the right New York dudes, man.
Yeah.
I gotta go straighten that mess out.
Nah, them niggas man, because if people watch me document that trip, and man, I was so happy.
Yeah, you will. Yeah,
Man,
we talked about
If
it.
you watch me going before I got to Queens Flip, nigga, I was so happy because I had never been to New York City. Nigga, I'm finna walk the streets of New York. I'm finna go to Harlem. Man, when I got there, nigga, man, didn't nobody even talk to me. The niggas that booked me there, I didn't know what they looked like. I didn't even know what Queens Flip them was. How I'm gonna get my weed? They say the show ain't till 10:30 at night. Nigga, I'm in New York at 9 o'clock in the morning. What I'm gonna do from 9 a.m. and then they got me in Chinatown. I'm staying in Chinatown.
Oh, Lord. That's where you saw the Popeyes with the Chinese.
Yeah, man. So I ain't never in my life, homie, been nowhere in America where everything was rolled in Chinese. So I'm saying, man, shit. But I'm happy to be in New York. So as the day progressed, but shit, man, where's some soul food? I think they told me somewhere like Junior's. So I went to, I think, Junior's in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah, Atlantic Ave.
Yeah.
Flatbush.
Yeah, so, man, I was just walking around, homie. And so then that's when I found out everybody who look black ain't black. Oh, man. And then I found out you can't talk to people in New York. You'll get hurt. Everybody is a motherfucker. What? No, I'm just trying to get some weed. Motherfucker look you right in your eyes.
The police.
Motherfucker look you right in your eyes and not say nothing. Man, I just want the weed, man. So when I got to Queens Flip, it was an eerie feeling. I'm saying, man, what these niggas got? And they vibed. They wasn't talking to me. It wasn't no, hey, brother, what's up? It wasn't welcoming. So as the show went on, if you go back and watch that show, you can see where I realized, oh, no, man, these niggas got me up here to make a mock. You can see where I flipped because I realized, oh, no, I don't know what these niggas doing.
I would just keep it a buck, you know. When I don't watch a lot of people's stuff, right? Because I do my own stuff. Because we got to talk about school TV, too.
Yeah, we ain't through.
I'm here with you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm here with you.
Like a mother.
Look. But what I saw, right, at the end of the day, I saw that you was by yourself and you was far from home.
Yeah.
And I saw that you didn't hold back. And despite anything else, that stood out to me.
Facts.
Because when a lot of people, man, there's this thing my mom say, when your hand in the lion mouth, you got to ease it out. You wasn't easing it out that day, bro. So I was like, yo, who is this dude, man? Like, what's up with him? Like, yo, and I think Queens flipping them. They like comedians or internet comedians.
Yeah,
they not like street dudes or nothing like that. But still, though.
I don't know who these niggas is.
But still, you know what I mean? Because,
Yeah.
It don't take much for somebody to get out of character and pretend to be something that
And
they
then,
not.
and
You
then,
know what I'm saying?
and
Like,
then-
yo.
and then all I can think, man, these niggas know what hotel I'm staying in.
They know
phone
everything.
number, They know, man, I'm just vulnerable out here. Man, I said, man, because it wasn't welcoming. So I said, man, why would? So that feeling, homie, of black people doing a nigga like this, homie,
It happens.
yeah,
man.
yeah.
It
And so,
does.
so peep game. So as I'm flying back from New York to Texas, they done made a video to make it look like I done said, fuck, man. So nigga, when I get home, I got all kind of Puerto Rican motherfuckers from New York. So I'm talking about all type of motherfuckers telling me. So that's where nigga, fuck you, New York motherfucker. Now my feelings hurt, homie.
Yeah.
I come up there to show love, nigga. Y'all, nah, man, that fucked me up, homie.
And that's another thing, right? Like, we was talking about Pac earlier and being a divisive force in the black community, right? I'm from New York, man, but I don't really talk that New York, all that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at people who do, but I think when people talk about where they from, it's because they don't have any individual accomplishments of their own to talk about, so they take credit for everybody else's work. You
Facts.
understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Exactly.
yeah, like you could say you from Brooklyn or you from this rough hood, but did you run that hood though? Like I haven't-
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Did you run that hood,
yeah,
man?
because if you didn't run it, I don't know why you talking about it like that. And that's whether you from LA or wherever. Like, if you just another face in the crowd, like, man, you shouldn't be flying that banner that high like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for me, like, not that I'm not saying I ran anything, but if you go back to my hood, where I was in the 80s, there's kids there that were born after I left that know who I am. You understand what I'm saying? Yo, look. And
Facts, man.
This is on everything I love. When I
Man,
first went
that's
down
so
there,
real.
when I went down to Atlanta after I left New York with the J thing, I was in the barber shop getting my hair cut. And there was a barber from Queens, from New York. I didn't know who he was. Matter of fact, his name is iReal in Atlanta. And this was a funny experience because he said, another barber from New York was cutting my hair. He said, from Brooklyn. And he said, yo, he from Queens? So he called him over and he said, yo, you from Queens? I said, yeah. He said, what part? I said, Hollis. He said, I'm from Hollis. I said, oh, yeah. I said, who you know in Hollis? You know the man said my name, but he was talking to me.
Boy, I done seen it. I done seen it.
They do his brother like
I
that.
swear to God, I see
They
it.
do that nigga brother. They do Dewberry brother like
Yo,
that.
I see it all the time, and I look at these nigga like,
Yo,
They do Dewberry like that. Listen, nigga told me the other day. Yeah, man, Dewberry got a metal plate. They say Dewberry hand metal. That's why he be knocking everybody out.
okay.
That's the shit about Dewberry.
you know what they say, you see what I'm saying?
And then Dewberry got
Say,
Yeah, look, man, the dude was
Boy.
talking to me and mentioned my name. I was like, oh, you know him, huh? Yo, true story. But again, man, for us as black men, right, there's going to be some differences. I spent a lot of time in the South. I went to Virginia first. I was in Newport Beach because I went to Hampton. Then I went to Atlanta in 89. I left Atlanta in 95. Came back to Atlanta in 2002 after Jay. To me, I've been in Baltimore, D.C. I'm in D.C. now. I get much love in D.C.
okay.
Right? Yeah, I don't want to say I'm strong in D.C., but I'm comfortable in D.C. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm comfortable
Yeah.
in D.C.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So DC, what's up with it, man?
Yo,
Yeah,
Every
we gonna
time I
find
go
out
to
in
DC, I
DC,
have
man.
love, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but what it is that, right? We got to get past the juvenile approach of dealing with each other.
Facts.
Like, I'm beyond, like, you from the South, you from Cali,
Man.
you from here. All I want is real warriors, and I don't care where they from, bro.
Man.
You understand what I'm saying? That's it.
Man, tell it to him, man.
All I want is real warriors. I don't want no suckers. I don't care where the suckers is from. You know, I've been traveling out of New York forever, and I've never met a cat from New York out of town that I clicked with. Because if I didn't know you back home, I don't know your pedigree. I don't know what you're about. Now, if I know you from back home and I see you out of town, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you move. New York's a big city, bro. 8 million people.
It's a bunch of people, man.
8 million. Just because they from New York, I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? And
it's rough around the edges.
Look.
It's rough around the edges in New York.
Look, man.
Yeah.
Listen, let me just tell you, man. And so I understand, you know what I mean? But I just feel like as black men, not boys, men, we got to get past all the differences. We have to accentuate the things that we have in common. And more importantly, Charleston White may not do things that I would do. I may not do things that Charleston White would do. But what we have to do is find out where there's some commonality and not worry about the differences.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
We have to find that
Facts.
commonality and get shit done. Because look, man, we losing out here as a
Don't
people.
Don't ask me about my God when we need to be helping the kids.
Come on, man.
That
See
ain't got
what I'm
nothing to do with
saying?
it.
See what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, exactly,
Don't ask me
exactly.
about my neighborhood, nigga. We just trying to help these babies.
Look, man, and we're not gonna worry about none of that other
Yeah.
shit. We're gonna get the mission done because ain't nobody doing nothing, man. But not enough because we losing all these token representatives we get elected to office. You turn on the TV and you see black people, and you know they talking about black excellence, but they spend most of their time in white spaces. You know what I mean? And again,
Our children don't get to see these black faces.
Yo, look, man.
Our children don't see black football
Look.
players, black politicians. All these people that we get to see on TV, our children never get to see.
Listen, brother. I got behind Coleman. We started a educational foundation in Detroit teaching STEM. We're partnered with Detroit Public Schools. We're in the process right now of building a lab in one of the top schools because they didn't have a lab in the school. Because we're getting the money. This is the stuff that I'm doing, right? This is what I'm doing.
Thanks, man.
You understand what I'm saying?
Work.
He building. He creating dreams for children with elevators in it.
Look, bro. We all can't be activists. We all can't be TikTok influencers.
Thanks, man.
We all can't be rappers.
Listen, man. The world, AI, automation, all that. Even with cybersecurity, for the ones who can't really do that high-level stuff, they can become cybersecurity experts without going to college. There's about over 2 million cybersecurity jobs needed. Do you know why? Because it's you can't be a foreigner and do cybersecurity. It's a national security risk. So if you are a Black American and you're a young man, young woman, and you are adept with computers and technology, that may be something you want to get into. You don't have to go to college.
Everybody don't have to get into cryptocurrency. Do y'all really mean say
Nah,
everybody
he
don't
just
have to go
yes. Nah.
Look.
Because that's what you just said. See, I ain't know nothing about that, but you know.
Look, man, these kids, man. I'm worried about the kids because their parents is in the club. You understand what I'm saying?
Every night.
Yo, so somebody got to show them something so they could break the cycle. Because if they know better, they'll do better. You know what I mean? And I don't have time to debate with grown people or people who think they grown and all that.
No, man.
My whole thing is this, right? Whatever you do, if it's working for you,
man, keep doing it.
keep doing it. But if it ain't working for you, you cannot be resistant to change. You cannot. You have to understand it. Look, man, the shit that I'm doing ain't working. You and I both agreed that when we down, we try to figure out what we doing wrong.
Yeah.
Not enough of us do that.
Yeah,
We keep doing what we've been doing. You know, they said that's the definition of madness.
for real.
To do the same thing over and over and expect a
Expecting
different
different
outcome.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, so, look, man, these kids, man, and our black kids are lagging behind. We in Detroit, most of the kids, not most, but a large percentage of the kids who benefit from what we're doing, they're Latinos in Southwest. Do you know why?
They taking advantage.
The foreigners with the values in the household,
Or taking advantage.
education,
Mm.
get that, do that. Yo, we have to start. We have to change our values. You know, we used to have great traditional values as a people, and integration. All it did was integration. To me, is code for assimilation. And what did we assimilate into? We didn't assimilate just into whiteness. We assimilated into liberal whiteness, which is a lot of feminism, LGBTQism, and a whole lot of stuff that it's wreaking havoc on them too, but they have the resources to recover from it. We don't. You see, when they get on drugs, they go to the rehab and they get straightened up. And guess what else that they got? They got us. They can always get a job mentoring us, being our counselors, yo, being our teachers. Yo, when you can't make it in the white world, there's always the niggas. You understand what I'm saying? You can
go down there and work with them niggas.
and listen, man. White privilege is getting the benefit of doubt, especially from black people. And being black is getting nothing but doubt, especially from black people. You see, and what that means is a average Rudy Poo ass white man could pop up in a black community
And play tough.
be the savior. He will get the kind of trust and respect
They'll love
extended
him.
to him
They love
that
them.
you or I would have to fight for. Listen to all the stuff that I'm telling y'all that I'm doing. I'm not looking for a pat
I had
on
to
my back.
fight. I ain't lying. I had niggas coming up. Nah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Right here in this city.
Look, man. I'm educating the kids. I'm trying to run black candidates. I'm making black films. I made Black, White, and Blue. I'm making a boxing documentary right now. All of this stuff I'm doing myself. The stuff that everybody likes to get in front of the camera. We need to tell our
We
own
trying to
stories.
do it. We ready. You heard it. We got somebody doing
Here
it.
I am doing it, right?
And he ain't
Yeah.
begging for y'all money.
And I ain't asking nobody for nothing. And where the fuck are y'all? Y'all talking about you the nigga that killed Jam Master Jay. You understand what I'm saying?
That type
Like,
of shit.
yo, bro. That's why I tell you, man, sometimes I'll be like, I ain't really fucking with niggas.
You
like
mean,
that.
yeah, that's me. That's why I be
That
saying,
shit
man.
crazy.
Yo, look, man.
That's
That
why I
shit
be
deep.
expressing
That
that
shit
shit,
deep.
man.
Yo, man.
That shit
Everything
deep.
I do is to help black people. That was not always the case in my life. But for the better part of the last 15 years, 17 years, that has absolutely been the case in my life. I mean, tangibles, man. Not just, encouraging words.
Tangible.
Giving them jobs. Yo, man, there was a young lady, I won't say her name. She got her first job with me out of college. She graduated from Penn State. I used to tease about Sandusky all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But she bought her first house with me. She was not the only one. I've helped young black women buy their first homes, give them their first jobs, all of that. There was another black woman, before she worked for me, she had applied to the FBI and they denied her. She talked to me about it. She wanted to write an appeal letter because they said, I could write. I said, I'll write it for you. I wrote her appeal letter. She's my employee now, right?
Yeah.
I write her appeal letter. You know where she's working right now?
The FBI.
The FBI, bro. So I'm not perfect. No, I'm not that. I'm not on the Forbes list. Far from it. But I wake up every day, man, thinking about how I can make a difference in our community. And I don't have anything against anybody else. Because for the white people watching, it's like this. There's so much complaints about what to do with the Negro, the black person. This has been the case since the emancipation. By helping them, I feel like I'm helping America. Because race.
Right now, we're a tax burden.
Yo,
Right now, America's black people is one of the biggest tax burdens.
Listen.
Because we want the entitlements. We look for them. We pass them down to our kids. If we on food stamp, we tell our kids, hey, now you know you can get you some food stamps, right?
3 generations of the projects.
Three.
Come on.
So
Come on.
at some point, this is why there's such resentment toward us. There's a lot of resentment toward us from everybody because they feel like
we a liability and not an asset.
Yeah, they don't. Nah, real talk.
Yeah, that's it
Real
right
talk.
there, man. That's it right there, man.
Yeah, real
in
talk.
actuality, even though we consume, we spend our money, we're liability.
Yo, look, man. Simple-minded people think that people don't like us because of our melanin and all this. They don't like us because they think we're coming to take from them. And we don't even really understand it. Just because they white don't mean they have. Yeah. A lot of them in the same boat we in. So they like,
can't get a bank loan either.
They like, yo, man, what you coming to take? The little bit I got? Shit me. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not negating reparations or none of that. Look, man, if that's the hill you want to die on, knock yourself out. I'm trying to help these kids, man. Yeah. One thing
Real talk.
Our kids don't want no reparations.
Real talk. They don't know what it is.
They want some opportunities. They want some alternatives to what's now.
They need directions too, though. Because in order to appreciate the opportunities, they need the directions. They do.
Yeah. And that goes back to the home value system.
Yo, man, LeBron James can't save everybody. Jay-Z can't save. I don't know if they're saving anybody, to be honest with you. But, they say LeBron opened a school.
White folks run it.
Come on, man.
Yeah, white folk. He ain't got no black deans.
It's a city school.
Yeah.
It's a city school. He did give up $2 million, which is $2 million more than I gave. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have any say-so in the curriculum or anything. They can be...
The hire, the fire, nothing. He just a name in the face. And
the donor.
And the donor.
Well, he paid for that with his $2 million.
Yeah.
He got some good publicity. But it's still, I'm not knocking him. But let's be honest about what's going on. This celebrity worship shit got to stop too.
Idol worshiping.
It's idolatry all day, every day. See, we in the position we in because we as a people have strayed from righteousness. All of this stuff, idolatry, money worshiping, all of this stuff, man. Look, man, I just saw where over the weekend 2 rappers got killed. One name was FBG Cash. The other one name was Money Gang Vontae. So notice the one name is Money Gang. The other one name is FBG Cash. Now, condolences to the families. No disrespect to anybody. But this obsession we have with materialism, the money, it is not doing us any good. Yo, money in of itself is an illusory concept. It's only valuable because everyone agrees that it's valuable. It's just paper, man. They call it fiat currency. Now, it's valuable paper only because the other person is willing to accept it as value.
Facts.
But if they don't, and seeing people think like with the crypto that they circumvent that, it's all the same thing. And you know what? And when I gave it thought, it was like that with gold too. Gold is just a standard of value that's universally accepted. It's a rock.
It's a rock.
It's a rock.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's an earth resource that you give value to.
So it went from the gold to the paper to now the crypto, but it's all the same thing. It's a universally accepted standard of value.
That's it.
That is it. And so you can pull the rug from under that at any given moment. You know what I mean? So, and my point in all of that is this. We can't worship money, man, because money is an illusory concept. It's one that we all buy into for now, but who knows? You know what I mean? Like, if there's a ELE, extinction level event, nobody's gonna care about I got blocks of cash that I can hold up to my head like a phone.
You can have all the gold in the world when you need seasoning.
Come on, man. Come on.
Back in the day,
when you need
water.
When you need water, you understand what I'm saying? Let's
seeds. You got gold, but you need seeds.
Come on now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, that goes back to the valuation system. We have been taught to indulge in consumerism and through material worship. And these celebrities, this is what they promote because their value to the system is to get us to be consumers. And before I shift real quick, in the mental health business, they call the mental health patients consumers. And I never understood why. Because I used to write the notes and they'd be designated consumers. Dr. Joel Gans, an old Jewish doctor out of Brooklyn, he was our first doctor, born in 1935. He told me he was mad about it because, of course, he was old school. See, new people are more accepting to these kind of changes.
Oh well, that's what make terms and terminologies and these new diagnoses so dangerous because the new doctor, the new mind is more accepting of anything that the power to be.
It conforms.
Yeah.
It conforms. So he said that they're not consumers, they're patients. Because he's a doctor. He writes scripts. So I was always wondering, why are they called consumers? At first I thought it was to remove the stigma of the mental health designation. But that's not it. It's not just the patients that are called consumers. All of us are called consumers because we don't produce. You're a producer or you're a consumer. And most of us are nothing but consumers. Even producers consume, but consumers don't produce.
Hold
on. Consumers produce more consumers. That's what they do. But go ahead, Charleston.
Listen, man, my first semester in college.
Yeah.
The teacher had on the board, we was doing government, U.S. government. And it says, he wrote on the board, consumerism has trumped citizenship. We are no longer citizens in this country anymore. If you listen to the news, we're referred to as the American consumers.
The American consumers.
Our government created a Fair Crediting Consumer Act.
Look, bro.
And classified us as consumers.
That's when I realized it wasn't just a mental health thing.
Yeah.
There's a classification for people.
Yeah.
You are a consumer because that's all you do. You consume.
So the world identifies us, the American consumers. Because what do America do? It consumes products from all over the world.
We don't manufacture. Come on.
No gross domestic products, nothing.
So it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's not a mental health thing. That's our designation now.
Yeah.
We are consumers.
Well, the world will eat off of us now.
Come on now.
The world will eat off America's ass now. Everything they send us, we gotta wait for. That's why our shelves.
We gotta wait for it.
We don't
gotta
create
wait.
anything.
We gotta wait.
We don't have any jobs here. Everybody is eating off of it because we're not citizens, we're consumers.
Terrible, bro.
America don't have no interest in its consumers as it should have in its citizens. You let capitalism dictate what consumers get.
Look, we just connected the dots right here, bro. You understand? From the mental health to the American consumers. I didn't even think about that part of it, but I knew they was talking about all of us. You know, It wasn't just mental health, bro.
Why would they, a patient, a consumer?
Consumer.
That's why now when you go to the doctor, you get billed from the hospital. Man, I don't even know where them bills be coming from. The nurse, you get 4 different bills from one hospital bill, from 3 or 4 different entities. You're a consumer.
And don't ride the ambulance.
Oh, bro. Whoa.
So
that might be what, 1,500?
Yeah.
15,000.
So let's switch real quick. We got about 10 minutes before the show ends.
Okay, go ahead.
Scoon TV. Where the ideal concept come from?
All right. On January 8th, Trump was kicked off of Twitter. So what I did was...
What was it, 2019?
Yeah, 2020.
2020, okay.
January 8th, 2 days after January 6th, they kicked him off Twitter. And I was like, damn, whether you agree with Trump, like him, whatever, man. He's the president. They didn't violate Trump to me. They violated the office of the presidency. They were showing us that the president really...
Ain't shit.
ain't shit, bro.
Big
That's
tech
how,
is.
that's how I looked at it.
Mhm.
I was like, who the fuck is these flunkies to be canceling him?
That's
You know what I
crazy.
mean? Like, yo,
That's crazy.
Yo, that's how I interpreted it, and it's not because I love Trump. You know what I mean? It's because, yo, it just is what it is, man.
Yeah.
He was in that office. They violated the office of the presidency.
They silenced him.
So I felt like, damn, if they could do that to him, they could do that to me. And I had I always got controversial views. Anybody who's been listening for the last 2 hours know that I'm gonna say what I gotta say. So I decided I needed to set up my own platform before they canceled me. And I got my brother. He graduated from Harvard Business School, but he was a dual finance and computer science major.
Yeah.
He built out my server for me. SchoolTV.com is on its own server. I'm in the process of getting an app developed. It's a news aggregator site with exclusive articles and content that wouldn't get published anywhere else in my town hall section, views from the left, right, and center, because I don't discriminate. I don't dictate to people. You could be a liberal. I'm not a liberal. I don't even see myself as a Republican. I think I'm socially conservative, but really politically I'm independent. I want to deal with who's going to help me.
Benefits, quid pro pro. Politics is quid pro pro at the end of the day.
And Detroit, Coleman is a staunch progressive. I am not. But everybody in Detroit is a Democrat, so you got to work with what's there. You understand?
Yeah.
And not only that, he's a good guy who cares about the people.
Yeah.
So again, accentuating the things we have in common.
Yeah.
And not worrying about the differences. See, I practice what I preach, bro.
Right.
I ain't just telling people to do stuff. So anyway, I write articles. I have writers. I pay journalists. I interview people. I have paywall content behind the paywall. I got a Africa correspondent, a Zulu from South Africa, Google Lethu Hughes. I just sent him a bunch of camera equipment. He's going to be filming a docuseries called Apartheid Lives that's going to be exclusively on my site. You know what I mean? And he's driving a lot of traffic from Africa to my site. My site is an international site. I try not to do the celebrity stuff unless it's some kind of political relevance that's going on. You know what I mean? Like it's not a blog, it's not a gossip. I'm not knocking those things. People deal with what they can deal with. You understand what I'm saying? My shoulders are a little broad, so I deal with heavier things. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's okay. But I get traffic from over 80 countries around the world. I look at my analytics. And people all over the world log on to School TV. Not a lot of people in these countries. There might be 5 to 10 in each country. But just to see people in these countries
tuning
in.
Yeah, no, man.
And not even English-speaking countries. I'm talking about China, Japan, India, Russia, Turkey, Iceland. I've seen them all.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on that server you on.
Yo.
Yeah, because
that's big. That's big.
This is what's gonna happen to black people. We don't have diaries. We don't have journals. We don't do our family tree. We don't do our family tree lineage and was wrote down in the book.
Mm-hmm.
We're putting all of our pictures on Facebook, YouTube, and
they own it.
They can snap their fingers and erase you. And you never exist anymore.
And they own the rights to it too.
They own the rights to it.
Yeah, they own the rights to it.
But see, you just think you got a social media page for 20 years. You've been putting all your family pictures on there. You ain't been taking pictures in real life.
Yeah.
And they take your account. They can erase you.
Man.
They can erase you. Because everybody is bringing everything here. Yeah. We're not taking family photos no more. We're putting them on the wall.
Yeah,
we all doing family selfies.
Exactly.
Look,
and we keeping them here.
On their server.
See, my thing is this, right? I just wanted a place where we can say the things we want to say. Google Lethu says things about the South African government and Nelson Mandela that no mainstream publication would publish.
Because he's not cooling.
He's telling the truth about Mandela.
He left the country in a worse state.
Yo, Google Lethu is a South African living in South Africa. And he will give you a take on Mandela and Desmond Tutu that these people don't want you to have because they've used their resources to make these people a certain way. They build up our leaders. We don't have leaders. We have misleaders because their job is to mislead us.
And why they build them up.
That's why they build
That's
them
why
up.
we got them all over in the hip hop. We got them all over. They all over.
When I see the system behind any black person, I'm suspicious of them. Because the reason why you won't hear about me because of the work, despite all the work that I'm doing, is because I'm not part of their system. I'm not perpetuating the things that they espouse. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, man, you don't get them breaks and them deals unless you play ball or play with balls. Pause, literally, figuratively.
No, for real.
It's just some weird shit going on. And like I said, I'm about being a man. I'm about raising warriors. I want to see more warriors, not gang members.
More warriors.
I want to see more warriors. And a warrior is going to be a protector of his community, not a predator in his community, not a nuisance in his community. You understand what I'm saying, bro?
Right.
That's a warrior, man. We protect our community and we respect each other. I don't walk around disrespecting black men for no reason, none whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we got to stop that. We got to stop that.
That was one of my biggest disappointments. When I lived in California, I did a lot of walking, and I made it my business. Say, look out, brother. Say, what's going on, black man? Say, what's going on, soul? and the level of coldness that I see. Man, nigga won't even speak to each other.
Well, they turned their community into a prison yard, though.
Nigga won't even speak. Black men walk by each
They
other.
turned the
and
community
won't
into a
and-
prison
and-
yard.
And
They
the coldest
And don't even
thing-
want to go outside of
The
it.
coldest thing about it, you can't even look another black man in the eye. It could cost you your life. Making eye contact with your other brother.
Look, man. I watch these dudes. You know, the little bit I see of them. If you are in your 50s and you moving, doing the same thing you was doing in your 20s, yo, man, you just in the way, man. Yeah. You know, they used to say if you're not part of the problem, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. They part of the problem. And no matter how many times they get on YouTube or documentaries and talk about this, and we trying to talk to the youth. And
You part of the problem.
you part of the problem, bro.
You part
You
of
know,
the
because
problem.
until you renounce that shit totally, yo, man. Again, it goes back to where's the crew that's gonna go out and see these little shooters and tell them, look,
Yeah.
yo,
You said something earlier though.
yo,
How can you be a leader or something, but you can't stop it?
you can't stop it.
Yeah.
Yo, look, man.
Because
They on the internet talking, but the work need to be done.
They're
World.
gonna tell you how much years they did in prison, how many times they got shot. Might tell you how many people they shot or killed. I don't know. You know, I ain't impressed by none of it. All you out here doing is auditioning for a book deal or a movie deal because you want White Daddy to come write that check. Nigga, I don't chase checks. I cut checks. You understand what I'm saying? So when I'm watching these folks, I know what they doing. They trying to tell the world, look, I'm interesting. I spent 25 years in prison. I've been accused of killing 20 people. You know, man, I'm a legend in these streets. They just hoping some white producer be like, let's get him on the phone.
Man, you
We
said
gonna-
some real
You know,
shit, boy.
I know
Say
it.
he
So-
said
so
some
I
real
know it, man.
shit.
To me, all they doing is twerking. That's it.
Ooh.
They just twerking. If you a motherfucking man, you get out here and you make your way. And you ain't out here auditioning for nobody. You know what I mean? Look, man,
Man.
no shots at Bobby Shmurda. He's a young dude and he was young when this happened. But I did not like that scene of him dancing on the table
Me neither.
for L.A. Reid and them. I
Me
don't
neither.
like that type of shit.
Me neither.
But he was a kid though, right? And he didn't have the right people around
Boy,
him.
he was shooting guns and he was
You know what I mean? Me watching
That
him
crushed
dance,
me.
watching him dance on that table, I was like, yo, where was the? I couldn't have been around. I wouldn't let that happen. You
But
know?
the question is, we got the youngsters being fascinated by what they bringing to the table with the money, and when they do it, the game is separate yourself from him.
Man, look.
You the knowledge. They try to make them separate themselves from you.
Homie, I'm not talking about Bobby with this statement I'm about to say, or anybody in particular. But if you out here willing to do anything for money, you ain't no better than a whore. You're a prostitute, man. If you willing, if you willing to do anything for $1, is there anything you won't do? Is there anything you won't do for $1?
Yeah.
That's the reason why right now, the Game Related Podcast, we create our own narrative. We ain't bagged by nobody. Everything we doing it our goddamn self.
I had a 501c3. I got it in 2012. I never applied for no grants. I never asked for donations. I had a Jewish lady out of Baltimore. She was an attorney that worked in a lot of youth justice. She said, Charleston, your community is going to have to learn to be self-sustainable. I met a guy by the name of Bart LeBeau. At the time, Bart LeBeau was the executive director of the Annie Casey Foundation, which is a 501c4 that gives money based out of Washington, D.C. to the 501c3s. He gave me this book that's called The Revolution Will Not Be Funded, and it's written by the Jewish Council. It's written by the Jewish Council, and it breaks down the nonprofits. We think we're doing something with a nonprofit. When I got that book, I let my nonprofit go. I wanted to go to my community and say, y'all, we need help, and we help us. And I was able to do that by showing my people that I can be self-sustainable without asking for no donations.
Yeah, with the foundation in Detroit, I funded it. We've gotten money from people, but it started with me putting $50,000 to $60,000 of my own money into it to get it off the ground, bro. Yeah. No, it's not $2 million like LeBron, but $50,000 to $60,000 from me is like $2 million.
So this is what she told me. The biggest problem. She told me this is the problem that we have as African American people when we're asking other people for their money. Why would any corporate give you or any donor give you some money when you can't even go get money from your own people?
Yeah.
Those are your constituents. You saying you're helping those people, but they won't help you. Why would we give you our money? That's why nonprofits don't get money.
Yeah, look, man, it's a tough road, bro. Everything is harder for us, but when you find a brother or sister who's doing something positive, I don't mean clout chasing with 1 million followers and all that. That's not necessarily bad, but that's not how you measure positivity. Right?
Now, boots on the ground,
yeah,
grassroots.
When you see that, you gotta support them, man, any way you can. It may not be money. It could be you might find out an opportunity that they don't know about, that they could benefit from. Like I just told the brothers today about the cybersecurity. Yeah, so that's something y'all gonna look into. You know what I mean? You understand? It could be little stuff like that, man. We gotta stop trying to be grandiose in everything, because there's a collective narcissism in our community. It's always about, look at me. Yo, that's why I said unsung heroes, man.
Facts.
I just want to see brothers do good.
Facts.
That's it.
Facts.
Yeah, I get people all the time. You don't show none of your community work. I'm an unsung hero.
Yo, man.
Facts, man.
And if you show too much, it'll be people trying to figure out how to stop you anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a double. You got to walk a tightrope.
Well, that's what happened, man. We had a wonderful program that was going off into the school. We had over 20 men, from local celebrities to NFL players. And we showed too much, and they made it about politics.
See what I'm
Charleston
saying?
White, so yeah.
Showed too much.
Yeah, look, man. There's a lot of stuff that I'm holding back, that I'm working on, man. But just know, no matter what you think about me, that when I wake up, this version of Curtis Schoon is always trying to do something to help the black community. Yeah. And I don't care if you're from New York, Dallas, Compton.
It don't matter.
I'm trying to help my people.
That's
it.
That's
I
what's
help white
up.
folks too, but
yeah.
I look for my people first.
The charity begins at home, Charleston.
Yeah, real talk.
Look, charity begins at home. So, and I think by helping our people, we're helping America and white people and everybody else, because they don't have to deal with the the liability. We doing it in-house
And let me just say this, America. We're making better Americans.
all day.
Focusing on us, we're making better Americans.
Better Americans, because so much of our racial discourse centers around race.
Race. And
So
really,
how can we avoid it? How can we avoid it?
and really, it's the personal ideologies that make racism bad. Man, I know some racist people ain't bad at all. They just don't want to be bothered with you.
They just don't
Stay
want to
away
fuck
from
with
you.
you.
Look, man. I never really understood if they don't like black people in building number 3. Why the hell do I want to go move into building number 3?
For real. That's the yeah.
You know what my dream? Not dream, but what I would like to see. I would like to see white people wanting to move to black neighborhoods because it's safer and the quality of life is better there. I would like them wanting to send their white kids to black schools because the environment is conducive to success. You see, we always chasing.
Is that reverse racism?
Look, we always chasing, right? But what we gotta do is put ourselves in a position where people want to be.
Man, that's some game, man. That's some game.
They gotta, until we make that happen, we just always chasing. I'm not the greyhound chasing that rabbit, man. I ain't looking for the plug. I am the goddamn plug. And I mean that in the most positive way.
Nah, we the socket, man. You the socket, man. That what nigga say. You the socket, man.
So with that being said, man, we gonna end the show with that on such a positive note, man. Black people should be creating spaces and environments and conditions, man, where people trying to come in and live next door to us. Boy, that's a hell of a concept.
Man, real talk, man.
I can see it.
Boy, I love being on here with you,
I can
brothers,
see
man.
it, man. I appreciate you.
Man, that way, man.
Man, we out, man. Yeah, we out. What we doing tonight? You here? You hit the host?
I'm in, man. I appreciate it, though.
Already, man.